Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Welcome on in. Optic, hello. How are you doing, Optic Nerve? I see you there, Optic Nerve. Actually, let me scroll up to the top and catch everyone who came on in here. We had first today, possibly for the first time, Tactics. The tactical first, Tactics. How are you doing today? We have Smikes being angry, but not getting first. How are y'all doing today? Welcome on in. Thindal, coming in third with Blueberry. How y'all doing? Thindal, lovely stream earlier today. As always, Thindal is very... It was very relaxing. It was very, I very much enjoyed it. Hogan, hello. I'm glad you got your magnet. Good deal. Schmakies! Hello, Schmakies. In Tactics, you got your drums. Kevin Drum sticker. Excellent. Miss Feline Fancy, thank you for the 15-month resub. Ma'am, couple of things, Miss Fancy. Number one, doesn't feel like 15 months. Number two, it feels like more and less, if that makes any sense. And actually, number three, Chad, if you didn't know, Feline Fancy was playing Elden Ring for the first time today, and she was crushing it quite well. Much better than I did. For her big subathon, for her move. Guys, go check out the lovely and amazing Feline Fancy. Feline, love your face. As always, Miss Fancy. We have Suitable Substrate in his house. Hello, hello. We have Grimly. Hi, Grimly. Yan, thank you for the resub. Yan at 11 months. Yan, how you doing today? Let's see. We have... Is it scrolling out? Elfie Bane, who tried to sneak in here. Elf, you are such a relaxing streamer as well, ma'am. I hope you know this. I just... Sometimes I take a nap right around when you stream, and I always just clonk right out, because it's so relaxing and peaceful, and nothing happens, and I just put you next to my head, and just... And then I wake up and I see beautiful art, and then I go... Click Elfie Snack Delivery, and then I can go... It's just lovely. I've just been so tired, Elf. I definitely conked out last night for like an hour. Travel the World, hello, Travel the World. Welcome on in. Echo Bricks, thank you for the follow. Neuralicia! Ma'am, how are you doing? Thank you for the resub with Prime. Neuralicia, you only get one of those, and you used it on us? How dare? How dare? We are not worthy, Neuralicia. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? We have Della Nero. Hello, hello. Sense, how you doing? Sense one, good to see ya. Let's see, we're going in. We got all the dancing emojis. Look at all those. Optic Nerve, hello, hello. RPG fan, hi, RPG Fandle. RPG says, I got my mug today, and thank you so much. All the stream is muted, by the way. I just want to say hi. Hello, RPG. I'm glad you got your mug. It definitely feels longer than 15 months. Absolutely, absolutely. Blaze, hello, Blaze. How you doing? Thank you for the boop. Hello, Pimp Cat. Any ant updates? So Pimp Cat, they are keeping steady at the best stage, I think. Hi, Skip, aka Skip the Bell. How you doing, Skip? Welcome on in. Just Danny over here. Final exam for the class at TA for today, so glad to have that over. So, what was the class, Neuralicia? I remember Lita and I only did TAing. So TAing, folks, is a teaching assistant, so you help assist with the teaching of a particular class. Usually it means, at least for us, the professor taught the main lecture, and then we ran the labs. And so the labs were, I think we had 2 4-hour lab sessions that we ran, plus we did all the grading. It was a huge pain in the butt. I don't know how we didn't get any work done during that time. It was a pain in the booty. And then some people actually have to do that every term, and they're competing against students who don't. It's an absolute mess of a system. It's psychology, neurobiology of pain. Ooh, that sounds lovely. That sounds like a really good course. Final this week and next week, Skip. What classes? Like, how many finals do you have? And, like, are they written finals as, like, an essay that you have to turn in? Or are they, like, in-person online test? Like, how's it looking, Skip? Guys, a couple more shout-outs. Make sure you follow written... so written as in, Skip, like, you having to get ready, like, it's all pre-written, and you turn in an essay? Or, like, not in person, but, like, online in a set time written? Guys, also go check out the lovely Neuralicia, neuroscientist extraordinaire, and another one of our science communicators. Please go follow Neuralicia, folks. Absolute legend. TA, but in social sciences, we got the discussion sections. Della is that like a 2-hour or ish, like once a week kind of thing? Like how did it go to? The Blue Book exams, I hated it. Yes. See, Della, I would much have had that. Troubled Adolescent, sent. Be a teaching assistant. You have to be troubled. Essays and online assessments. At least skip. Hi, Cliff, hit it! Hi, Cliff Alistair McLean. Welcome in, Cliff. How you doing, Cliff? Welcome on in. Big lectures, they have to do discussions for participation. They had opinions sometimes. Della, I had an evolutionary biology class like that, where Monday and Wednesday...
You don't understand. You don't understand. If you understood, you wouldn't understand.
Thank you, Jern. Those Monday, Wednesday were like lectures, and then Friday were discussion sessions run by TAs for evolutionary biology. And there were some horrifying opinions in there, Della. Oh my goodness, about like evolution of AIDS. Oof. I didn't TA it, but to watch the TAs run that session was an absolute nightmare. And you could imagine, like, there was thoughts and ideas that should not exist if you've already taken Bio 101. It was a little unfortunate. Skip, I hope the essays, for me, Skip, I prefer the essays that are not in class. Because that I can, research and think about and formulate and make it sound really, like, pretty and nice. It's the in-person things that always drive me up the wall. Especially, Skip, my last exams were, like, where it was something written, was memorizing genetic pathways. And Skip, it was such a useless test. I tell you, it was like, okay, this molecule reacts with this molecule and this molecule and this molecule. And it's like, I don't even know why I'm learning this. I could Google this. Like, some questions in the semester before were like, design an experiment that would ask this thing. Which is great. I understand that. But then when it's like, list out a path. Ugh, it's just, ugh. I hope it's gonna be pretty changeable. A pretty good Skip. Guys, go check out Skip. If you follow Skip, he will do well on his exam. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Psychology of pain gets spicy. Telling a bunch of undergrads about pain experiments, especially preclinical work. So Neuralicia, are these potentially undergrads who are looking into going, like, medical field? Dartmouth undergrads, a lot of donors and kids. No, that's not Dartmouth, Smikes. That was Emory. Because that's where I went to undergrad. I don't know, honestly, Smikes, if there was an evolutionary biology section at Dartmouth. I TA'd the genetics section, and my favorite student, as in not my favorite student, he had 4 names, and he was the 6th, okay? 4 names, and they were all, like, very pristine, fancy names. Like, it was not Wattlesworth, but it was on the same line of being a Wattlesworth, right? And, like, the fanciest suits and everything, and he'd come in, and he, like, for the final, the lab final, he doesn't come in. He doesn't come into class. And I'm like, I don't want to, and it's an in-person, like, test you have to take for the lab practical. And so I shoot him an email. I'm like, hey, you're 20 minutes late. If you're running behind or something came up, like, you can come later or we can reschedule it. Like, I was a very good TA. I was very, very fair to all the students. And he sends me a message. He's like, oh, I just have a headache. And so I reply back. I'm like, oh, well, do you want to reschedule or retake it? And he's like, nah, I'll just take the 0. And that 0 factored, like, the lab grade factored into your main course grade. And so he went from a B+ to a C. I was like, dude, just why? Just come in and pretend to care. Ugh. Psych and neuro students mixed back 400 plus students? God, Neuralicia, that is cringy, man. Ex-girlfriend who TA'd at Dartmouth in the chem department, one of the undergrads, ordered a bunch of chemicals for making candy and had to deliver to the apartment. Listen, Smikes, the floor above us, we were on the 6th floor of the Vale building. The floor above us turned out, there was a lab that was studying circadian rhythm, or the genetic clock. And there was a student in that lab who was ordering supplies for meth, but he was ordering it from different companies, the raw materials, and half the building was abandoned because so many people had been fired. And so he set up a little meth lab down the hall and was ordering, oh, that kind of candy. That, I see. That kind of candy. Yep. This wasn't an undergrad Smikes. This was a grad student. And they let him leave with his master's. They gave him a master's degree, let him leave. And now he's the head of a big company in Germany. Yep. No, it's quite wild. Neuralicia, funny story about us being a TA. Lita and I TA'd the same lab sections. And we were, hi, Professor Canuck! Chat, before I continue the story, if you're not checking out legendary Astro Canuck, please go follow Astro Canuck, legendary space explorer, astrophotographer, Lego builder extraordinary, eater of hot foods and beautiful beards. Check out Professor Canuck. Also the publisher of a children's book by the name of Beetle Blues. If you want to purchase it, go follow the book called Beetle Blues. There is the book link, Amazon. If you're kind and you find Professor Canuck in the wild in the forests of Canada and you have a copy of the book, he may or may not sign it for you. And there is a special going on for the book right now. There's 2 for the price of 2, folks. 2 for the price of 2. Ash Rubber, first time chatter. Welcome on in. Welcome in, Ash Rubber. How you doing today? So, Neuralicia, Lita and I were TAing the same class. And again, it was like 4-hour sessions, and I have trouble learning names if you tell me just once. And I have to hear it a couple of times, otherwise it's not going to click. And unfortunately, the second course that we had, Lita goes, why don't you go around and tell me, hi Thindal, tell me your name. Or tell me your name and a fun fact about you. Now, the issue was, I remember their fun facts more than their names currently. Neuralicia. So I remember one girl really liked Netflix. She was like, I'm obsessed with Netflix. I remember her fact. I remember one gentleman said that he had a false positive trisomy at birth. I remember one person said she really, really likes to ride in cop cars. Like, these are the things that I remembered. So then, of course, I didn't remember their names. I had to come up with, like, internal nicknames that helped me, like, remember who they... It was a whole thing. It was not Gucci. But then that semester that Lita and I were teaching, we got engaged. And Lita is wearing her diamond ring. And one of the students, no one knew that we were dating in that classroom. Not because we didn't tell them, just because they didn't ask, right? And so one of the girls whose name is not Ishmael. Okay? Neuralicia, she had a fun fact about something about Ishmael. And for the life of me, I was convinced that was her name. To the point where I was telling Lita about this student, and she's like, we don't have a student by that name. So that's how I know her. This Ishmael girl went over to Lita and was like, oh my god, let me see your ring. And she's like, yeah. She's like looking at her ring, and she's like, yeah, I just got engaged. And the girl was like, well, who did you get engaged to? And she was like, to Belent. And she looks over and points and shouts, that Belent? To this day, I don't know if that's like if that was like I can't believe someone that low level that you got engaged to, or what. But then she ran over to me and asked for confirmation. Lita said that I should have said, no, I don't know who that woman is. But no, I'm like, I'm not fast-witted enough to think that. So I was like, yeah, we definitely... No, Thindal, this was not that kind of reaction. This was a I'm confused reaction on one direction or another. And, yeah, it was fascinating. Hi, Gwendolyn P! How you doing, Gwen? Gwen, listen, Gwen. We did have a prediction at the start of the stream today, Gwendolyn P. And the correct answer is...
Don't you like me a little bit?
Big Amy!
I don't even like you a little bit.
Hi, Big Amy.
I heard you like me a little bit.
Well, maybe just a little bit.
Correct answer is I did not get haircutted today, folks. I did not get haircutted. There was more... No, Pimpcat, I think the issue was... It was one of two directions. It was either Lita proposed up, which we all know isn't the case, or Lita proposed down, which we all know is probably the case, right? So that's how I took it, of like, ew, that guy? Really? That's how I took it. That's how I took it. Big Game, you have to call Verizon. Big Gamey, you know who I called? Big Gamey. I had a weird event today. So I got this letter in the mail, Bit Gaming. Inspire Clean Energy. Okay? Hi, Gothcat! Welcome in, Gothcat. Inspire Clean Energy, Bit Gaming. Okay? By the way, chat, if you're not checking out Bit Gaming, legendary streamer extraordinary, make of dogs live. I'm a dog. And, Homeward Hound. Also, Game Dev Extraordinaire. Also, amazing father. Also, just an absolute hero. Go follow Bit Gaming. So, chat.
SciAnts, know you. You're the cutest. To know that you deserve it, Juno. You a star over here. I'll reverse the card like Uno.
You're breathtaking.
Chat. Findall, for that, you have to be a VIP. Or a mod Findall. To trigger that. Big Gamey, this company is clean energy. So what they do is, instead of using the primary grid, it pulls you in and has you use like windmills and water resources. And what's nice about it is that it has you locked in for an electric rate for X amount of time. And our electric bill has been insane. I was like, you know what? This is actually cheaper in the long run. Let's just go over to this clean energy and lock in for a year, right? Hi, Nick. If you didn't know you were dating, it makes sense. But it was just weird. It had a weird vibe to it. Hi, Zen. No, I don't know when the Queen's coming. They don't have a time estimate for me yet. Pimpcat just asked about the Queen, and then I just got off on a tangent, and then we just have it up there. So Big Gamey, I call the company. The phone number on the letter, which I have verified on the website. It is the correct phone number, Big Gaming. First, when you call, it goes to this like option of, if you got a letter in the mail, do you want to sign up for this thing? So yes, press 1. Okay. Go to the main office. I tell them I used to be an existing person. I like an existing client, and then I left because their rates went up and electric bills went down, and now it's switched again. And so they're like, no problem, we'll transfer you. So, I get transferred to someone who starts asking all these details. And, like, they ask for, like, the address and everything, and, like, they ask for a credit card as well. And I thought the credit card was because of, like, some kind of payment thing, right? They're like, we just need it on file for something. And so I'm on the phone with them for like an hour and a half. Okay? And they're like, okay, we have to go through this like automation thing, and then you're gonna be all set to go. And so the automation thing took like 20 minutes, and at the end he's like, okay, the automation's gonna read you a code. You have to get the code, you can give me the code back, blah 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 blah. So, Big Gaming, I couldn't hear the code, and then it cuts out. And at this point, I'm irritated because the guy was really rude, but also I'm like, something about this felt off but it was internal. Like, I didn't call anyone beyond what's on the sheet. And so then I called back, pressed the 1 again, went to the main office and told them what happened. They're like, oh, we don't know where you got sent to. I'm like, excuse me? And they're like, yeah, that's really weird. We never asked for a credit card. I'm like, all right, but then who did I talk to? And they're like, yeah, we don't know. They're like, we don't have anyone who'd ask for that. I'm like, then who did you? I'm like, y'all transferred me, right? So I did, Bit Gamey. So the moment I did set up the clean energy, I went ahead and canceled that card right away and getting a new card in the mail. It's a pain in the butt because I hate dealing with canceling cards, because then I have to remember to rehook everything back up to like the correct credit card. But like, they couldn't even tell me what it was about, so I was dealing with that half the day, Big Gaming. But at least I got the clean energy hooked back up, and we're all kinds of set. The credit, yeah, the only information like they got beyond the credit card Smikes was the address. They didn't get anything else, at least. To a hacker, unless they have someone right, it doesn't make sense to me, like how I don't know. I do not know what that was about, but I got it all like locked and ready to go. And I spoke to one of their managers too. I'm like, look, this is not Gucci. Speaking of Gucci, folks, we can have a poll to do. It is Wacom Wednesday. Welcome on in, everybody, to those who are live, East Coast, West Coast, YouTubers, whoever you are. Welcome on in to Wacom Wednesday, folks. I'm gonna ask y'all a question of where to start. What art piece to start with? We have the Rice playing the glass organ. We have Fox playing the flute for the SciAnts band. We have a cinematic Antonia. Cinematic master MP. I'm going to call it MP for masterpiece. Not anything political on that. Like Mother Prime Minister or something. We have, let's see, we can do Star-Lord Antonia. Or we can do Boba Fett Antonia. So, y'all can go ahead and get those votes in just a moment. I'll give y'all 5 minutes to vote on where we should start today. Hi, Mig Zenith. How you doing, Mig Zenith? Mig Zenith, listen. I don't know. Smikes has opinions. Smikes has deep-rooted opinions on this poor little rice plant. This poor little rice plant just wants to live and play instruments. But it's okay, Chad. There's other options. There's other characters. There's a cinematic masterpiece, Antonia, you can vote for, which I know Gwendolyn P will be very, very excited about. The cinematic masterpiece, Antonia. The Fox playing the flute, that's for Alex Vixen. We do have a Star-Lord, Antonia, Boba Fett, and all the fancy pants things, so get those votes in. Reverse Psychology Spikes is desperate for the rice plant. Listen, but I actually don't know if Smikes enjoys rice in general as a food. I personally love white rice, but I know brown rice is better for you. So you play. Yes, Devro, it is rice. Devro, how you doing, Devro? Guys, go check out the legendary and amazing breathtaking Devro. Anti-rice, Neuralisha, how come? If I may ask, I very much do enjoy rice. The rice is cute. I think you even had the little seeds up top. You got the little seeds up here, you know? Got the seeds up there, too. Never seen a rice plant up close, to be honest. Devro, if you want, I can find a rice plant up close just for you. Just for you. Actually, Devro... Oh, what? Oh, boo. Behind a paywall. Let's look at this one. I can't zoom, Devro, because for some reason it's not available in the United States to look at this. This is a scanning electron micrograph of a rice grain. So this is like a grain of rice and what it looks like under a really, really, really high-powered microscope. And I didn't realize, but it has these little fibers coming out as well. That's like a high-res zoom-in of rice. That rice plant is vaguely unsettling. Oh no. Is a rice grain made up of smaller... No. So this is the one piece. This is one rice grain, Thindall. This is one piece of rice right here. And then that rice is plugged into the plant. Let's see if there's any other... Let's see, that's the rice straw. This is the outer surface of the kernel. There's a lot of, like, yeah, the spiky, hairy riciness. The scale is from a sea monster. It does kind of look it, right? Hilarious, and if I click on it, this is not available in our country. Pretty bad for the world. I just enjoy. Gotcha. Neuralisha, there's actually some genetics being done on rice to try to make it more amenable to being grown in different areas and not be so destructive towards the water supplies. 'Cause that's one of the big things is how much water it sucks up. They're trying to change how much... what's the best way to say it? How much water and iron are required for it to be successful. It's how some of the ways it's working. I don't know, Zen. I'm not sure. Can you drink rice water? You can drink anything, Thindall, at least once. I eat a lot of rice because I hate potatoes. That's fair, Devro. I love the potatoes. Rice is good when you're hungry and you want 2,000 of something. That's fair. That's fair. There's rice milk. It doesn't surprise me that there's rice milk. Did you know almond milk is bad for the environment too? Like, apparently oat milk is miles better for the environment, but I just cannot take oat milk. Like, I cannot drink oat milk. I don't want to get that berry. Hi, Savarkin. Welcome in. For legumes, like, yeah. Yep, they're water intensive. Exactly. Soy and oat is the least environmentally harshing. It just makes my stomach hurt. That's the unfortunate thing, Norleash. I really don't like the flavor. Almond milk is also 10 times better than oat milk. In terms of flavor, yes, but not in terms of the environment. Cashew milk. Astro, cashew milk, at least here in our grocery stores, are very unpredictable in terms of being stocked. And that's why it's like I may or may not even be able to get my hands on it, unfortunately. I drink good old cow juice. I can't, Optic. My stomach just destroys. It gets destroyed. I cannot have that. I cannot have that happen, unfortunately. Yeah, wait, no. I think, Big Gaming, I think McZenith was saying sorry to me, not sorry as in they're sorry. I don't think, anyway. Fox Fleet, oh, got it. A huge push environmental fuel here a couple years ago for the environment, ethanol fuel. Turns out there's a tons of rainforest destroyed to replace maize fields to make the ethanol. So the thing, too, Thindal, is that ethanol-based fuels, while they are better, they're actually not sufficiently, like, that much more efficient than regular gas. And the only reason that it's being preferred instead of battery-powered electric vehicles is because the lobby groups are really pushing, like, ethanol has been shown to not be efficient. Like, vegetable oil is a much better means of having alternative fuel sources, but it's just not efficient. Or the ethanol is not efficient, but there's not a big lobby group behind that. That's why. And if I had bad oat milk, guys, it was hippie fancy oat milk, Devro. I don't know why. Humans don't have the enzymes. We do have the enzymes after infancy if you continue drinking milk, Smikes. It's actually epigenetically regulated. As soon as, if you stop drinking milk, those regions of chromatin that have the genes for lactase close, and then you don't express it anymore. And I don't know if there's been any research done on if you can actually reverse gene expression of those particular sites. I had good almond milk and I do love coconut milk, Gothic Cat, as well. Sorry about the oat milk condolences. Yes, I loved it since I switched to it. Gotcha, makes sense. Yeah, at least the kind I have I cannot take, fortunately. Little Fox can be like the Pied Piper and have a bunch of Kevins following him. So while that is a beautiful idea, Optic, we cannot do that because it has to be part of the band. We can't have Kevins falling around because Kevins are already critical to the setup as well. You see, they figured out how it was a dumb room removed from the stations that's already closed. There is still options here, Thindal, with ethanol gas. It's really big during election season, and then it kind of goes away. Again, it's not very efficient. They should honestly go to the vegetable oil substrate, but it's just not money in it, you know? It is a flute. It is a pan flute, Spikes, but it's not Kevin's. Possibly. Now, if you think exactly what I was talking about, he loves milk. I've tried telling him that drinking 2 liters of milk a day will... Oh, Thindal. I mean, look, Thindal, I love cheese. I'm not going to not eat cheese. Chobani's oat milk has never given me issues. I don't know why, but theirs is the easiest on my stomach. Oatly's Original, Planet Oats, Extra Thick Creamy are second and third, respectively. I can't tell you which one I had, McZenith. Lita ordered it because they didn't have almond milk, and she was like, I don't want to throw it away. I want you to try it. And so I did, and it just didn't hit right. Like, I finished the container. I cut my coffee with it in the morning, but if I added a little extra of the milk, it nerfed my stomach. Neuralicia, listen, it's because the coffee that I have is not good enough black. It's just not good enough. I cannot justify just drinking it for fun. But it's also decaf that I have at this point, and so at this stage it's kind of like a comfort thing or something. I don't 2 cents out is really good on Cheerios. And like, I do enjoy cereal mix Zenith, but I can't remember when I last ate cereal. Starbucks offered an olive oil drink that gave people stomach issues too. Probably Thindall. It does at least sound creative. It's at least thinking outside the box of it. The street cut of more interesting topic than it has to be right now. Neuralicia, it's just mediocre coffee. I just gotta do it. Not the taste, not the caffeine, the routine. Probably Svarkin. Decaf coffee actually does have a small amount of coffee. A small amount of caffeine. It's just like 10% of the caffeinated coffee. You got it, Gwen. I gotta do the prediction. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do the prediction, because Gwendolyn P. I don't want Gwendolyn P to get angry at me, Chad. I don't want Gwendolyn P to be like, what the heck? Streamer, you should call me a dummy item or something, and then I'll cry. And we don't need to do that. There you go, Gwen. There is the prediction. It is live for you, Gwendolyn P. It is live for you, Gwendolyn P. Gwendolyn P is live. Things about offering coffee consulting. I mean, it would be lovely, Schmakies, but it's not critical. It's not critical. Alcohol-free beer is... I mean, but is that any more than like certain pastries? Then no, it's almost none. Trying to get hooked on green tea, Svarkin. I do have at least 1 cup of green tea a day, and then I reuse the leaves and have a second cup later in the day. So right now I'm having my cup 2 of the green tea.
Put us on yellow alert.
That's in.
Whatever.
And there's other ones that I have.
The science guy. The science guy.
SciAnts rules.
The science guy.
SciAnts is a partner on Twitch. With lovely wife Lita.
The science guy.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you, Zen. Also, hi, Andrew. Folks, if you like to follow Greco-Roman gods who are built like a force of nature, then please go follow the amazing, breathtaking Andrew CZ. We love Andrew here in chat, and you should too. How you doing, Andrew? Hey, want to buy some coffee? First cup's free. I mean, that's how they get you. Oh my God, no! That's how they get you. Very, very beginning, that's how they get you on the coffee front. Yes, built like a Greco-Roman god, the message of Andrew CZ is here. They're here for anyone who wants to learn how to cheat fancy latte stuff at home. I've worked as a barista at the Mermaid Shack. A couple of coffees off my knowledge is yours. Ooh, Mick Zenith. Very nice. Lita is the one who knows in the house, like, all the fancy pants coffee stuff. I would be fine on, like... I lived off of instant Folgers, and she's like, I'm not about to have that in this house, so that's why we don't have instant Folgers, because she says she's a woman of class, and she cannot do that. But then when we go visit my parents, that's all my dad will get, because it reminds him of when he came to America, and he had his first taste of freedom coffee, because he escaped, from the Soviet Union. It's a whole thing. Dee Builds! Dee, happy birthday. Dee Builds. Walk the dog, hit the gym, go to work for an hour or two. We love you, Neuralicia! Neuralicia! Stay amazing, stay breathtaking, take on. We love you, Neuralicia. We'll see you later, Neuralicia. My mother-in-law gave me a box of 20 K-Cups today when I visited. Nice. Do you have a K-Cup machine, BitGamey? If not, that could be problematic. Did you also know, BitGamey, that the K-Cup machine is actually horrific for the environment? It's actually horrible for the environment. I had no idea how bad it was. Dee, how are you doing today? First coffee I ever had was Starbucks in Beijing. They gave me 4 shots of espresso because they thought I was American. I talked for 4 hours straight. I mean, Svarkin, that I can see that happening. They do make refillable cups, but it's the Smikes, it's the puncturable cups that goes in. That is that apparently is some obscene amount of waste. I didn't know how bad it was until like plastic in general is in, but apparently the ratio of like how those ones are particularly made are more worse than a usual kind of approach. I don't know why, Zen. I can't remember why, but I do remember that those are for some reason particularly bad. I'll have to take a look at it. The refillable Cosmo, yeah, for sure, because they're not made as well, Big Gaming. I don't think they're made as well. Refillable K-Cups, don't ask me how many times they've been dumped. See, Della gets it. Gazillion times. Really huge, a lot of coffee, flavored coffees. Gothic Cat, I love flavored coffees. Lita hates flavored coffees. And so we both drink decaf now due to our blood pressure. That's what being in SciAnts will do to you, is just, I suppose, your blood pressure just is hilarious. And so we just share unflavored decaf coffee. But back when I was still having caffeinated coffee, I was vanilla and the various nut flavors. I know, Andrew. Oh, the Kahlua. Yeah, Svarkin. Listen, you only drink the cat butt one? Listen, Smikes, that is fancy and Sophistocles. Smikes, I am not Sophistocles enough to get cat butt stuff, but you know, I understand it. I understand it. Svarkin, best coffee I ever had was in Hawaii. We went once on a family vacation, and there was a hotel. And in our hotel, they made this coffee that was grown, like the beans were grown in the mountains, the volcanic soil. And that was just the best coffee ever. You didn't need to cut it with anything. There was no sugar. There was no milk needed in there. It was just absolute perfection. And I've never had it again. But I can't even remember what the name of it was. Maybe if I Google Hawaiian coffee. But it was the absolute best thing ever. And I'm like, that I would drink all the time. But I'm sure, again, not good for the blood pressure. Macadamia nut butter with guava jelly. That sounds incredible. Svarkin, there are flavored coffees that are fruit flavored. I never understood them. But you know what? Some of them are quite alright. Like, did you ever have from Dunkin' Donuts? I know, I'm really showing my knowledge here. The Dunkin' Donuts blueberry coffee. Okay, sounds horrifying. But it is actually quite tasty. Oh, you skip! Skip! Good luck with all the things. Skip. That Skip has a finals coming up, so make sure you send positive vibes to lovely and amazing Skip Tabell. Guys, you have an opportunity to catch a giant fish right now. Apparently, this is a thing that we're doing, is trying to catch giant fish. So make sure to try to catch the giant fish. Blueberry, I'm drinking a blueberry soda. Nice. Thank you, Big Gaming. That's gold, Big Gaming, I think, possibly, potentially. Not, but I love my workers at the Dunkins. I do enjoy the Dunkins. Guys, someone else to go follow. Please go with friend DD Builds. DD is an absolute legend. Another Lego builder, maker, and crafter artist. Their arts are next level. By the way, Big Gaming, do you see my shirt? And it's DD's birthday every day, I'm told. So, Chad, if you like celebrating birthdays, please go check out DD. And they're it's lovely to celebrate their birthday, because they're like, it's not my birthday, and then you can even more celebrate the harder birthday. Indeed, Svarkin, listen. I love my cats. I, in fact, have these, like, weird interactions.
Thank you for the booties in the face.
Thank you. It is a Ted Lasso. It's the Ted Lasso seal. It's the Ted Lasso seal. Gwendolyn P., the AFC Richmond. Love your cats. Well, Thindall, your cat doesn't know my cat, Thindall. Possibly, potentially, maybe, possibly. Thindall, by the way, I saw you try to set the date for your birthday in the Discord. Go up to the top of that page in the pinned messages.
I like your pants around your pants.
Yeah, Professor Canuck, I like your pants around my pants. Thindall, on the pinned messages in that channel, there's instructions. On the pinned messages. She knows my cats? Oh. Let's see. Astro Canuck caught the biggest fish in the stream. Is 200% bigger than the average. Heck yeah. Professor Canuck. And Delarino caught the heaviest fish. 5% heavier than average. Very nice. Professor Canuck, pants around your pants. How are your feelings on that? Because it's a Canadian band originally that sang Pants Around Your Pants. That's a remastered version. How's your feeling about that, Professor Canuck? I want to make sure you're okay with that. Leaving this here kitty. Oh my goodness, what is this, Thindall? It is Thindall, chat, actually. First of all, you get to look at the most handsome man in the country of Sweden. There he is. There's Thindall. And there's the beautiful kitty cat. Best friend, of course, I'm proud of her. Thindall. My best friend is Noodle.
Kitty! He's very easy. And do pretty much whatever I want with her. Okay?
Yo, what a sweetie. No, Thindall!
Alright, let's let you down. She's
Thindall, what a cutie patootie. What a cutie patootie, Thindall. Yo. That reminds me of Noodle. She's an animation T-pose. Listen. Bit. Fine, I will tell you. I will tell you, Bit Gaming. Listen, I've been working on a secret project. Bit. One of the SciComm animals has to be a cat. And am I working on a 3D modeled Noodle? You bet your booty I am, Bit Gaming. You bet your booty I'm working on a 3D model of Noodle. Bit, maybe.
Thank you for the booties in the face.
Bit. Possibly, potentially, maybe, no pressure. If your game needs a cat, I may soon have a 3D model for you of a cat. I know it's about a dog, but maybe there's a cat just like hanging out somewhere. Just throwing it out there, Bit Gaming. Just throwing it out there, Bit Gaming. If you needed another cat character. You know, just saying, Bit Gaming. She could be hanging out just like randomly on like in a tree. Just like sitting there. Oh, the art styles are going to be hilarious, Big Gaming. You can't at all have it in there because of that reason. But if you have it as an Easter egg, you know, it's just like randomly up in a tree that you'll only find if you look for it. Like a secret extra thing. Hi, NMD! Booties indeed. Stray was a great game, Thindall. It was surprisingly powerful in terms of like how well it was done. Given what wasn't it like a really, really small team that made it? It turned out gloriously. We could put it in the Antonia game, that's true. That is very, very true. But Thindall, I really liked Stray. Guys, if you're not checking out NMD96, go please check out our Lassie. Our Lassie is on the partner push. She's an amazing co-working streamer, an amazing gamer, an amazing beautician extraordinaire. Please go follow NMD. She also has an army of tardigrades in her office at her house. She's also soon getting a kitty cat, possibly, potentially, maybe. And the kitty cat may or may not make appearances on the stream, possibly, potentially, maybe. So chat, please go follow our legendary friend NMD96. NMD, chat voted for violence.
It is forsaken and forgiven, NMD. You can be, instead of our destroyer, our hero, NMD. Please help us as we conquer the universe.
NMD, chat voted for violence, and we have a new band character that's being worked on. Not the rice, NMD.
Smikes.
The rice still has yet to be touched, NMD. There is just, I think, overall dislike of poor Ricey McRicerson. And so instead, we're doing a different one today. If this cat works out 1,000%, 1 billion bajillion. Hi, Bags! Welcome to Bugs! Kitty Cam, listen, NMD, will the Kitty Cam be an independent stream or what? Deathheart, thank you for the follow. Welcome the heck in, Deathheart. Welcome on in. I would love to have a Kitty Cam on Noodle, NMD, as she's downstairs, but I have a feeling that we'd see her just be naughty. And I don't need to see her being naughty. You know, like, I don't need to see her, like, with her stock portfolio, working on, like, the latest day trading that she's doing. I just need her to be a well-behaved kitty cat. I can pretend that she's well-behaved and she's not doing anything illegal on the stock market, and it's fine. She also plays, I'm sure she plays chess down there with herself and, like, getting the correct moves to beat everyone. It's a whole thing, NMD. So I'm gonna just be careful on that front and not have to deal with her on it, because, again, I just want to see her as who she is, which is a loving, glorious little kitty cat. NMD, do you want to see what we're working on currently? Chad did not vote for the cinematic masterpiece, Antonia, NMD. I was also surprised with that. Denial is a great river in Utah. It is true. Lady Lara Croft! Welcome in, Lady Lara Croft. How you doing, Lady Lara Croft? Welcome on in. Lady Lara Croft, we were just told that Denial is a river in Utah by NMD 96. Possibly, potentially. Or she was saying that that's not the case. I'm not entirely sure. But welcome on in. Lady Lara Croft, I had a hilarious experience on the phone today. Ended up culminating in canceling a credit card. I also had a hilarious meeting where... No, so Andrew, it wasn't the credit card company. It was calling a alternative electric company, and they do clean energy. And when I called them, they forwarded me to some other department, and the guy started taking my credit card information and like all this stuff, and eventually just like the call disconnected after an hour and a half, and I thought it was shady, so I called them back and I was like, we didn't finish this, and they're like, we don't have a department like that. And I'm like, well, then why was I transferred there? And they're like, that's weird. And then they got the actual information, and then I called and shut down the cards, so it's fine. But Andrew, the phone number was correct. Like, I called the exact same phone number as when it did work. So something internal, they transferred me to, I don't know, a non-existing department. Right? Like, it just, like, it... Like, I have the letter, I have the paperwork, it's the same as on the website. Right? So, I know it's real because we've used them before. It's this clean energy company instead of getting the regular... No, it's not the quote, I already have the quote. Like, I have the monthly quote ready to go. It was like we needed... I know, Andrew, I know, it's dummy. They wanted it on file for something, I clearly... It's fine, I cancel the card, everything's Gucci, but it just... And then, Andrew, listen, I had a meeting today, and, you know, like, I'm a supervisor in one of these meetings, and Andrew, this guy who's leading the meeting, goes off for, like, 5 minutes about how, okay, this next project, blah, 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 and he's like, alright, it's run by this person, alright, do you want to take it away? And, that person, Andrew, was not there. So he went on for a project for 5 minutes and didn't bother checking that the person in charge of it was actually there to provide updates. And so it was just like, they're like, yeah, dude, she's not here. And he's like, oh, that's an issue right there. I'm like, it's probably the department at the 7th floor. Listen, Clip, that does happen. That 100% does happen. In Super Mario Coins DD builds, I am not good at getting Super Mario coins, much like I'm not good at getting regular coin. It's fine.
Ah!
No,
you are wholesome as ferret. Yay!
In fact, no, you Blueberry. But yeah, Andrew, it was hilarious and quite sad, because everyone was like, what are you talking about? And then someone was like, did you not look and see? Someone goes, did you not check and see who was here? And I was like, oh. Oh, and Blueberry, I saw you sent me a Twitch whisper about fancy seeing you here. Blueberry, I was probably on my phone and it didn't alert me, so I saw it this morning and I had no idea where you were fancy seeing me. So that was Blueberry, me not ignoring. It was just, I didn't see it until the next day, and I was like, I have no idea what this is in response to. Because actually, Blueberry, I usually don't... The only people who whisper me, Blueberry, usually are for prizes that are won on the stream. And I don't like to mark them red until I have written down the addresses. And so when I saw there were a bunch of unreads, I just kept them as unread so that I can then go back. Andrew. It's for Alex. It's Alex Vixen's character. Now, Andrew, listen. Andrew, we have yet to touch the rice. And then, Andrew, listen. No one voted for the cinematic masterpiece, Antonia. Dale, I know there's a joke there. I have forgotten it. I know there was a whole like thing about foxes and what they say. I do not. Spikes? How do you know it was The Mummy? I said it was a cinematic masterpiece. It could have been The Mummy Returns. It's a song. I remember there's something with it, Blueberry. Andrew, you were right. How dare Smikes? Smikes, actually, you have not seen the piece, but if you look at it, you will see the costuming is based on the 1999 version versus the 2017 version. So we're all kind of good on that front. Scream hello, Danny. Hi, Danny! Professor Anduza! Is he here? Yeah. Guys, if you're not checking out the legendary Professor Danny Anduza, go follow him. Single greatest science communicator on the planet. Go check out Professor Danny Anduza, chat. Go check out Danny Anduza. Dinosaur Science. Dino Dave!
The galaxy.
Dino Dave, thank you for the resub. 13 months! Dino Dave, how the heck has it been 13 months? And Ocean Machine 117, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in, as well as Mike CO3. Welcome on in, Mike CO3. Thank you for that follow. Now I'm totally thrown off, chat, because I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say, chat. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. Guys, go check out Danny. Go check out Professor Anduza. I appreciate you.
It belongs in a museum.
I appreciate you, Dino Dave. I appreciate it. Let's show off to Danny all the fancy characters that we have. Look at all those musical characters we have now. Look at that.
SciAnts. We have experimental science. We're curious, not judgmental. Always good vibes. When science on screen. Time to learn life with science.
Look at all those characters. What's the count? You mean Andrew with the band characters? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, Andrew. Listen, it took me, Andrew, this one I spent part of the afternoon doing. Now, Andrew, was I in a meeting when I was working on this and afterwards? Maybe, Andrew. This one was actually really silly complicated because I was trying to get a bunch of color layers in. Because the original one is like a gradient of colors, and so I was trying to recapture that exact same gradient. So it was a little bit, it wasn't even the coloring, Andrew. It was just trying to get the original sketch going. And then the next one, I have to do the, for you, Andrew, I have to do the beaver. Also, Smikes, I'm near on, the orchestra conductor didn't want to stop the motion all the way to the left. Gwen, that conductor is all because of you, ma'am. You know that. Hi, Coconut! So Andrew, I'm working on the beaver, and then Smikes had a beautiful idea. We talked about this.
Victory screech!
NMD, I'm on a push. I know, NMD. It's okay. It's okay.
Do it again for Spike. Okay, I can't.
I just don't. People. I don't people.
So Smikes had a great idea. A beautiful idea. Not for crime.
There's five cabins.
You don't understand. You don't understand. If you understood, you wouldn't understand.
Smikes, the lightning bug is definitely counted.
The Tradoon.
while not an instrument, the lightning bug provides the lighting for the stage. And so I feel like it has to. Right? Possibly, potentially. Now, Smikes had a beautiful idea that I don't...
Look
Smikes,
at its little feetsies! Look at its little feetsies!
do we want to tell people what the idea was? Or do we want to keep it a secret until we're ready to debut it? Because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I missed the shot. I did. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Look, mayonnaise is not an instrument, but horseradish is. The rafters idea. The rafters idea. Less
Look
specific.
at its little feetsies!
Do you know how many ideas I've come up with, sir? A lot, I know. But the rafters idea with the mosquito and the keep it under wraps. Okay, so that one I've started to concept art, and so hopefully we'll have something together for that soon. I think it's gonna be an absolute riot to do, and I will need y'all's help on that one as well. What is the feetsies context? Blueberry, that was we found a tardigrade, and it was swimming around wiggling its little feet, and I got very excited. Dell, we don't have raptors yet. We do, Dell, we have a dino. If one of our subs wants to hit exclamation point dino, we can show Dell the Utyrannus, which is, now that I'm thinking of it, we should have done that for Professor Danny Andrews. There's that dino. There's that dino. But I forgot to do. Next time, chat. Next time. But yeah, we have a very fun one coming up that we'll need some
Make it so.
Some help with on. Make it so indeed, Blueberry. Make it so, Blueberry. Yeah, this one is Darwin's Zorro. This is
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target.
A fox
Shut
character.
up, Wesley.
Couldn't tell you if we were saying raptors or rafters. No, Dell, totally fair. I don't know which one I was saying. Dell, it's the joys of English being my second language. Sometimes the accent comes in. In fact, Dell, I was at a debate tournament once in middle school, and I was told that my accent is so thick that they cannot understand what I say. They go, I don't understand. It's terrible. Like, was it Andrew who added the I love the chat thing? Oh. What's your first language? Blueberry. Hungarian is my first language.
You don't understand. You don't understand. If you understood, you wouldn't understand.
And it was a very strange. No, Thindall. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, Thindall. They were very serious about it. Like the judge was like, "Yeah, you got an accent," and the other, because you're in a debate team, the other team was their primary argument to our top debate topic was we can't understand one of the debaters, so therefore we can't argue it, therefore this whole thing should be conceded. Yeah. The debate judge told us we should have said that it was racist, and that should have been the argument. I'm like, it was called policy debate. What that means is there's an affirmative and a negative. The affirmative side is arguing for something, the negative is arguing against that. The topic that the affirmative has to debate has to be within a certain realm of topics. Like, there is a guiding statement of what you have to debate about. And the negative can prove that it's bad in any way that it wants to. But saying that you can't understand the other person, I mean, it was honestly, I'm pretty sure it's because they had no real argument. They were just like, we can't understand you. And it was very strange. How do you say hi?
You don't understand. You don't understand. If you understood, you wouldn't understand.
Y'all know him. Y'all love him. Guys, go check out Irish John Games. We love Jern here. Love you, Jern! Chat. So, how to say hi in Hungarian, Blueberry, is Szia. It's spelled S-Z-I-A. Szia. And it's saying, it's how you would pronounce it is when you say like Szia, S-E-E-Y-A. That's how you spell it, Blueberry, and you pronounce it as how Andrew just wrote it. And actually, Blueberry, there's two kinds of Hungarian. There's the everyday colloquial Hungarian, and then there is the formal. With friends, to say hi and bye, it's Szia. And if you with the more formal language, you don't say Szia. That is only for like friends or family members, something like that. Although a lot of the fancy Hungarian is starting to go away, primarily because they're just teaching it less and less in schools. It's just, it seems to be like a cultural thing that in a lot of places the fancy official language is kind of just dying. Yeah. Well, let's remember that story. The teacher telling Blint's dad he should be less foreign. You know, you're not wrong. Get on a call and learn Hungarian with you. Blueberry, listen, I am not a Hungarian teacher. I do not know the first thing to do in terms of teaching anyone. Otherwise, I would have already taught Lita. I will say, Blueberry, there is a Duolingo of Hungarian that Lita's sometimes uses, and she says it's pretty alright. But there's not, I would have to go with a Rosetta Stone. I used Rosetta Stone for German, and I thought that was much better than anything Duolingo. But Duolingo's free, so you can't really, you know, complain too much, right? Like Aloha, exactly, Lady Lara Croft, exactly. I wonder, though, I do wonder, Gwen, I have to try to remember if I had any other hilarious teacher stories. Gwen, did I ever tell you about the teacher with the wig? That was interesting, Gwen. That was in... So, Gwen, that was in second or first grade. There was this teacher who was in third grade. And she was very angry, Gwendolyn P. She was a very angry lady. She shouted and screamed at the students. And you did not want to get her for third grade, okay? I remember this vividly enough, where it was an issue. What happened next, Gwendolyn P., is it turned out she was actually using the men's room, and she took off her wig and put it in the bathroom, on the bathroom floor. You know what happened next, Gwen? The boys are monsters, and they stole the wig and ran off with it. Now, it turns out she did have hair underneath, Gwen, but it was one of those where it was like tied, like low-level tied hair, and it was almost like weave, like extensions, but not actually inserted into the hair. I know you wouldn't put your wig on a bathroom floor, Andy, that is fair. But in third grade, and it's not even, look, it's in the boy, look, Lady Larkoff, there's a lot of questions. Because number one, as a teacher, you're not allowed to use the bathroom that your students use. Number one. Number two, the lady went into the boys' room. Number three, a boys' room in an elementary school, you are not going to go into because you know they're monsters, right? Just from like your own sanity perspective. So it was a mistake all around. It was like a whole mistakes all around. But someone stole it and ran off with it. Hi, V! V game is, I gave you guys a job. How you doing, V? So she did get her hair back, but it was like it went out that there was this whole, like, you know, not real hair teacher. Guys, go check out the lovely and amazing V tries to chat, aka V game is, aka V like things. Love you, V. Now, chat. Guess who I got for third grade? Guess who I got for third grade as a teacher? I got that lady as our homeroom teacher. I was mortified that I was gonna get that. Were these like, no, Smikes, this teacher must have been in her 50s. And I just remember it as a blonde wig. I just remember it as a blonde wig. Like a giant, floofy blonde wig. Like it went down to like like past shoulder length. Like it wasn't that it cut finished here. It went like maybe mid back even. So it's quite a sizable amount of fake hair. And yeah, Lady Lara Croft, it actually turned out to be a good thing that I had her as a teacher, because the other homeroom, and so I had a friend, Lady Lara Croft, named Alisane. Alisane was hilarious. This guy, great at soccer, and just had a really, really good sense of humor. Like I still will occasionally message with this guy. That's how, like, he was a good friend. And he was in the other classroom, and so we really didn't ever see each other at all anymore because the other classrooms didn't interact. And we had heard that his teacher had an accident, and then didn't hear anything about it. Fast forward to middle school. At this point, I've switched schools. Like, I switched schools in 4th grade. And in middle school, I think 8th grade, Alisane shows up to our school. And I'm like, Alisane, how? Like, I haven't seen you since 3rd grade. How's it going? So what happened, Lady Lara Croft? It turned out that year, and when he was in 3rd grade, the teacher fell. His teacher fell down. And instead of calling for help, the students pointed at her and went, haha, she's bleeding. Okay, that's another reason why you should never, if you're a teacher like NMD 96 or Music Girl, another reason why they don't get paid enough. So apparently she was bleeding on the floor, and the ambulance took her away. Apparently she ended up being fine, but here's what's really crazy about it. They forgot to give them a substitute teacher. They forgot to give them a substitute teacher. So for the next 4 months, they had no teacher. They came into class every day, stayed quiet, okay, and then went home. And so, because Alisane, I remember he was in like the remedial math class when he joined. And so I was like, Alisane, why are you in this math class? Because I remembered like he was really smart and it just didn't make sense to me. And as a kid, you don't, could have been a bevy of reasons, and that's probably an inappropriate question to ask. But I just remembered him as my smart, friend, and I was like, why is he in this remedial math course? And he told me, he's like, look, we didn't have a teacher for 4 months. Like, they didn't give us a sub. And so I'm really behind on my math. And it was just like, oh my God. And that's when he told me the story. He's like, yeah, she fell over, she was bleeding, we were laughing about it. I'm like, what on earth even, sir? And he's just like, yeah, in hindsight, it probably shouldn't have done that, but it was good while it lasted. And so, yeah, that's like the fun, joyous story of that. Smikes apparently lasted for 4 months. And he said that, they told all the students, like, if you say anything, then we'll beat you up, right? So, like, I think even, like, the kids that maybe would have said something were scared that they would get beaten up. And it was, yeah. I mean, Gwen, I think they just, the reason, so Alisane told me the reason they ended up finally tripping up wasn't because of any noise, but because the report cards were due, and there was no report card written. I don't know what happened in terms of the school. Like, I could imagine that there could have and should have been a lawsuit, right? Because your kids are unsupervised, and who knows what kind of deviancy they could have gotten into. But, like, yeah, actually, let's look up and see if it still exists even. Hold on. Let's find this school. Oh, the school is still here. There's no picture of the school. But here is the actual school. I remember when I had, in 2nd grade, they put us in trailers because they ran out of space. Like, we weren't actually in the building. We were outside in trailers without air conditioning. Because that's how, like, packed up the school was, and there just weren't enough rooms for any students, unfortunately. So that's, like, some of the fun bits to it. Which part, NMD? All of it, NMD, or just parts of it? I know it's not good, NMD. It's also common in your area, Dell, with the trailers. Yeah, it was... I learned a fair bit, NMD. I wonder why the custodians are a staff. Pictures. Yeah, the building has changed dramatically. They added on a bunch of stuff to it after we had left. So they actually had enough space now to run like the classrooms and whatnot, but it was still not especially large, so yeah. Wood wall, let's see, same here, they put us in container-like rooms, basically like a shipping container could be loaded up with a small house and windows and stuff. Wooden walls, not bare metal. I wonder if the metal, though, Thindal, there's other laws against that. I know for us, so Thindal, this was at my new school, we had what I called the walls of death. So the walls in the hallway were this weird stone material, Thindal, that was jagged. Like, it just like nicked out like this, and it was just like individual pieces that all had different kinds of nicks. So it wasn't all like uniformly going out like this, it was all over the place. And I actually got thrown up against that wall, and so that like scar, it's like bleached out, but there's a scar right there, and that's from getting thrown up against that wall because the wall sliced me up. What fun is that, Thindal? It's not very fun, Thindal. It's not very fun. But I was a swimmer, so I had to be thrown up against the wall, Thindal, because that Thindal, I don't know if you know this, but it means you're very, very lame if you're a swimmer, apparently. I also told a story. I did tell a story, Thindal, that I showed up in a Speedo to the pool party for our grade that year, and that was not well received, and so that only made it worse, Thindal. That only made it worse. Yeah. In America, Thindal, if you're a swimmer, you're a loser. At least that's what it was at the time. My hope is that it's changed, but I don't know. I don't know. Lita's school experience was far more different. She was in a place where if you were on the math team, you were popular and cool. And I was like, where did you go to school? And she went to school in New England. Same place as, not same school as Smikes went, but the same location. That's why she and Smikes are brilliant. And I'm just a loosey-goosey, artichoke, as it were. These days, if you're a swimmer, usually hot and smart. Look, DD.
Hey, Balloon. It's time to say something nice about yourself.
I was fit. And I had a brain. It just didn't end up mattering. There is a secret message as well. There's a secret message, folks. That's retribution, I suppose. If the love command is used, a secret message pops up. How could I have added that, Gwen? Gwen, how would I even know how to write something like that? I can barely type. How can I figure out to add something like that? It's madness, Gwen. It's pure anarchy, Gwendolyn P. Besides, that would not be a sufficient, throwback. If I wanted to fight back against that command, we trigger it to say, Blunt's a dummy item or something. And that would be funny to me. You can get fit again. What are you suggesting, Andrew? Are you suggesting I'm not fit anymore, sir? Are you suggesting I'm not fit anymore? You'd be right. You'd be absolutely right. Yeah, I mean... Hi, Dacko! Dacum, how the heck are you doing? Welcome on in, Dacum. Dacum, listen. Dacum. We're working on a fox today. A Darwin's Zorro. Totally off topic. Feel free to ignore, but when you hear about my face wardrobe malfunction, yes, please. Been trying to do that and got the run out of the doc. Wait, Andrew, for your surgery? No. Why? Oh, God. You know why, Andrew? That's some nonsense about insurance. That's what that is, I think. They had me try to do, in spite of the torn rotator cuff, they were like, do physical therapy. And the doctor was like, yeah, it's not going to help, but you have to do it for insurance. I wonder if that's it is. Hi, Debs! Debs, how the heck are you doing, man? Welcome on in. The lovely and breathtaking Debs is here, folks. Debs, as you know, is our YouTube content creator extraordinaire. Folks, please make two things. Number one, please follow the YouTube page. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. Debs is doing absolute legendary work. And also, please follow the lovely Debs, who's on her path to the affiliate push and then beyond. Please go check out the lovely Debs! Chat. You're tired but good? I'm glad you're doing good, Debs. Insurance made me very angry.
Huge shout out to science. Science. So all of science, but especially the science streams.
NMD, I just paid the bill for baby Alona's hospital stay. No, we're not gonna talk about that. That was oof. So really bushy eyebrows. No, I don't know, Thindall. Random hairs sticking out, and then I have like this one. So I keep a trimmer that I use sometimes to keep them in check. Oh, fair enough. It's set at like 1/3 inch or so. So yesterday I grabbed it and put on my eyebrows. You can guess where this is going. Did you get your hair, Thindall? It said bzz, and I was like, was it changed? Was the setting changed, Thindall? Oh no. Oh no, Thindall. Thindall, was the setting changed, sir? Who changed it? I blame the cat. Oh, so are you... Wait, no, I saw you today. You were not missing an eyebrow. Thindall, you were not missing any eyebrows today, sir. You wonder why people are not having kids? I mean, some people are, Dacum. It's just the people who can't afford it are having kids. And if you can't afford it, then you get saddled with debt, so then you don't want more kids. Missing 2/3 of my eyebrows? Listen. Thindall. When I was younger, I still do. I pluck the unibrow. Because, you know, that's highly unappealing on Blunt. And, there was a time, Thindall, when I went a little bit too far to the left and I had to even it out, and I looked kind of dopey for a month. But we're fine now, Thindall. We're fine. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. How much are midwives? Actually, Andrew, insurance does cover them, depending on your medical condition. See, Tactics is right. Tactics is 100% right. Brazil right now gets free healthcare, but not the fastest. Debs in Hungary, it's the same. You get free, but it's like you have to wait 6 months to get anything. I don't know. There's no good system for it, unfortunately. Possibly fully loaded Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. Oh, well, so Lady Lara Croft, seeing Lita's bill, luckily insurance covered part of it, and part of Baby Alona's as well, but like that raw bill, it was like, I don't even understand. I'm like, for Alona, I'm like, y'all, like, where do you delineate between what's for mom and what's for baby? I would argue, that they double charged us. One is pulling her out, is a charge for Lita because they got a baby out, and then they pulled her out, which is a charge on Alona's as well. So, you have to wait 6 months because people who wouldn't ordinarily are getting it. No, Smikes, it's because in there that you can buy a secondary insurance and that'll move you to the top of the list. So it's just right back to the same thing. In the US, I agree, that's why. Like, people who wouldn't be like hypochondriacs or something are now getting it, but in Hungary and in many parts of Europe, it's still a pay-to-play system. It's just not officially a pay-to-play system. It's unfortunate. Anywho, chat, Fox character, Debs on her partner push, NMD on her partner push. There's a lot of partner pushers going on in here. Hello, Water. This is a science team. It is, Water. How you doing today? Water, this is SciAnts streams. We do science art, we do deep dives in scientific topics, we do 3D printing, and much more. Today we're doing science art. I have 66 followers. Debs, I'd like to imagine that I did some of that for you. Fox reminded me of the animated Robin Hood. The old one, right, Andrew? There hasn't been a new one, I hope. Andrew, there are some remasters or redos that are coming out that are very unsettling. For example, Andrew, have you seen the images of the new Little Mermaid? In particular, have you seen the image of Flounder? The image of Flounder, Andrew, is horrifying. That is the most un-Gucci looking fish I've ever seen. It is... I do not like anything about that fish. I will also argue that Sebastian doesn't look quite right, but he's more forgivable. But Flounder has been totally nerfed. Maybe. Possibly. Travel the world? Nice, travel the world. Thus the nerf characters. That's fair. I don't like the new one though. I don't like it. I don't like it, Andrew. I like the old character appearance. I know I'm old on that, but what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Debs, I can zoom out and show you. It's just her even face is starting to stay a long time. So tactics, I know that that's a thing, but I don't know what that thing is. I know it's a thing though. For old musicals, there is nothing wrong with liking musicals, Andrew. I, for the most part, can't take a musical, but to each their own, as long as they bring you joy. No, I do not like musicals. Gwen. There's very few musicals that I will endure. I also take... Lita likes musicals, and so I'll watch stuff and take her to ones that she wants to see. For her birthday, one year we went to New York because there's this play called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And that was the one that she really wanted to see, because it had the actor from the original movie of that, and then it was like went on Broadway, and so then I went to go see it for her for that. And then she also, I took her to see it one more time because there was another opportunity to see it before it went off Broadway. And that's those are the two that we've seen. I kind of want to see like the classics on Broadway, like The Lion King and Aladdin, but I have no idea if it's a worthwhile thing to see or something more rare or whatnot. I think they made me watch too many musicals in music class. I think Lady Lara Croft, and this is on me, I just get sucked out of them because it's singing. And it just, I guess it's just something in me. It's just like, I don't get why we're singing now. If this is a real life situation that we're trying to illustrate, which is a very fuddy-duddy thing of me to say, but I think that's where I'm coming from on it. And then, but I love Mamma Mia. I love Mamma Mia. That I think though is more for the songs because I grew up to those. My mom's favorite band as a kid and still as an adult is ABBA. And so when we were, when I was a little kid, she would play ABBA and, we'd run around the house listening to ABBA. And so that just brings back precious memories for those things. Thank you, Tactics. Tactics, I am aware of what it is, but I have no recollection of it. And every time I've told what it is, I forget right away. I may have watched it at one point, Tactics, but I may have totally not. I have no idea. I know that the fox says something, but I just don't know. I don't know. Is musicals not a singing at weird points to confers anyway? Maybe just the wrong idea. I mean, it probably is water, but I just don't get it. It's probably just because it's right above my head, I think. It's just an annoying song. I'm trying to think. Oh, Gwen. So, Gwen, there is a Hungarian rock opera, Gwen. Stay with me, Gwen, okay? Stay with me. It came out during Soviet occupation in Hungary. And it was super controversial at the time because it highlights how religion was a founding factor in the first king of Hungary, because the first king of Hungary was a Christian king by the name of Saint István. And this rock opera, it starts with an what is it? It's I don't know if my musical friends can tell me. An overture by Beethoven. Because Beethoven apparently wrote an overture and was gonna write a whole opera around this original story of how the Hungarian people came to be with their first king. But apparently Beethoven was notorious for starting projects and never finishing them. And so he started the musical and then stopped at the overture. And so in the, I think it was the 60s or the 70s, they took the overture, and at the end of it, it pulls in electric guitar. And it's a whole rock opera based on like how this king came to be, where it's like the existing king who didn't adopt Christianity and the one that did, and the war that they had. And it's got some banging tracks on there, actually. It's a pretty good one. And there is one with subtitles if you're at all interested. Never wrote a musical. Opera and musical are the same thing, Smikes. One just goes, woo, and the other one just goes, oh. It's just music and dancing and all the silly willies. Beethoven is a terrible movie, Big Gaming. Beethoven, I cannot stand Beethoven. That dog movie, it's that uncomfortable comedy where it's just cringe, where the dog is like, I'm slobbering on you, and it's just like uncomfortable. It's like, it just, it hits me to my core. Yes, Gwen, let me find it. At one point, it may have been a cinematic masterpiece, Big Gaming, but I cannot watch it anymore. There are many more, Andrew. Here we go. I'm trying to find I found the movie, Gwen, but it didn't have the subtitles. Well, I'll post this, Gwen. You can just enjoy it. Computer can ask your birth. Excellent, Thindel. Excellent. Now, right now, no, Gwen, listen. When you ask, you shall receive, Gwendolyn P. Gwendolyn P, I have put it in the music for you, Gwen. It's in the music section now. Gwendolyn P. Yahoo! Just love Big Ben and Antonias. All I remember from that movie, and he destroys the table. Yeah, it's like that flavor, yeah. Like, Andrew, let me look up for you how many Beethoven movies. Eight movies, Andrew. Let's see. There are Beethoven's Treasured Tale, best stream. No, you, Andrew. I'm a dummy item, sir. Beethoven's Treasured Tale, Beethoven's Christmas, Beethoven's Big Break, the 5th, the 6th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st. A total of 8 of those movies, Andrew CZ. Much like The Land Before Time, where you just keep having movies upon movies upon movies, and never any Logikus on there. Is that really what ChatGTP says? Nice. Listen, E-Bomb's World, Thindal was gold. Do you remember Thindal, badger, 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 mushroom, 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 oh, there's a snake, oh, there's a snake? They should have stopped. Look, Big Gaming, I don't know what ChatGTP says. Yes, Thindal, that was a golden meme, as it were. That was a deep cut age of memology. Alex, I'm trying to make you proud, Alex. I'm trying to make you proud today, Alex Vixen. Hold on, Alex. I'm trying, Alex. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying, ma'am. I'm trying. It's coming. It's slowly coming along, but I'm trying to.
Gucci.
Yes, you are beautiful, Thindal. Thindal, listen, why until you believe in how handsome you are, I'm going to keep telling you this. And even once you believe it, I'm going to continue saying it more. It's just what's going to happen, Thindal, okay? Oh! I have to add in the randomizer to that, Andrew. I have to add that to the randomizer, because what I wanted to do, Andrew, was either shoot that way or shoot this way at 50% of the time, and so I have to... I just keep forgetting to add that in. I'm sorry, Andrew, if I've disappointed you today. Alex, I hope you like it. It's the Darwin Zorro for the band. I hope you like it, Alex. The little one, so Thindal, she was been silly. So she turned 3 months old yesterday. And she had moved up in to size 2 diapers because the other ones were just flooding. But now for night, Thindal, we found out we need size 3 diapers with an additional padded insert. And if we do that, she sleeps through most of the night, which I will take as a victory. So she's being a pretty cool baby when it comes to that. Beyond that, at work, a poopy child. No, it's pee. It's pee. So just overnight, right? She's just, as you would imagine, as a baby, you eat a lot and then you pee. And so it's like making sure that she doesn't soak through and then wake up, right? But so that's actually been good. She's starting to sleep more and more. It's not totally reproducible yet, and that's my scientific terminology coming out, but like we're getting close where it's getting better, where I think soon we'll have like full through the night consistently sleeping. Lita's even starting to get a little bit of sleep during regular sleeping hours instead of just like in the morning. The colic, it's mostly done, so Thindal, we still have to give her the Mylicon medicine because that breaks up the bubbles from toots and to keep her stomach from hurting. But it is much, much better, Thindal. It's much better. She's still... I showed off a picture in the Discord chat for Thindal because Thindal had sent some money for her to get a little teddy bear. And so I showed off her stuffy corner as it is. She's got the Triceratops there, which is from our friend Meg's Mashables. She's got a sleeping bear from Thindal. So Thindal, it's like designed for them once they're a little bit bigger to sleep on and to like work their neck and like get stronger. So it's like multi-functional. And then she's got a Robert the Penguin, but she cannot yet have any plushies in her bed, Thindal. So they're still there just like watching at her, and we sometimes go over and we say hi to them. But we can't yet do anything with them. And yeah, she's a sweetie patootie. Debs and Andrew and I had a chat yesterday, and she was on the call, and she was such a good baby. And then of course I have meetings, Thindal, with like important meetings, like staff meetings and everything, and it's always people are like, all right, where's the baby? And yeah, it's actually very nice. It's not like the old place would have been like, why do you have this child here, get rid of it, versus my new place is like, oh, let's see the baby, it's so sweet, blah blah blah. But here's what we're working on today. We have a SciAnts band. We do have a SciAnts theme song for the channel made by the lovely and amazing Thug Shells. She made the theme song for our channel. Guys, make sure to go drop Thug Shells a follow. And here are some of the other characters that we have in the band.
SciAnts. We get experimental science. We're curious, not judgmental, always good vibes. When science on screen, time to learn live with SciAnts.
And so now we're working on adding another character to the band. A Darwin's fox for the lovely and breathtaking Alex Vixen. Hi, Hugin. How you doing, Hugin? I know, Drown, it's much more like of a orchestra at this point rather than a band, but I could not stop, and when I can't stop, we keep going, and when I keep going, Smikes gets sad. But in my defense, I love Smikes, and he knows that I love his face, and so we're kind of okay with it, even though we're not fully okay with it, you know? If that at all makes sense. But Drown, how are you doing? Guys, Drown is the amazing maker of the trailer Rise of Piracy with Irish John Games. Considering I made me an orange vanilla float. Hugin, is that a negative or a positive? Like, are you okay in spite of it, or are you okay from it? Or are you both? Chat, I'm now concerned about Hugin because it sounds like he may have been naughty. But Hugin, welcome in, sir. I hope you're doing well today. And I hope your orange float was good. I hope your orange float was absolutely delicious.
Gucci.
Gucci indeed. It's definitely positive. Nice, Hugin. Okay, I'm just making sure, Hugin. I'm making sure, because I know sometimes if I have, like, the wrong food items, my day gets nerfed. That's fair, Alex. That's fair. Alex, don't worry. There's plenty more Kevins coming your way, Alex. But also, the very first ever Darwin Zorro. Haven't been on Twitch for months. It's very chill to be around. Zedman!
Rule the galaxy.
Zeddy! What the heck, sir? 22 months. Looking cool, Zedman. Thank you for the resub, sir. How the heck are you doing, folks? If you're not checking out Legendary, one of the only breathtaking Looking Cool Zedman, you're not doing live right. Looking Cool Zedman is full-time content creator extraordinaire, both on Twitch and on the YouTubes. Please go check out his merchandise and go follow him. He is one of our very best friends. He and I were each other's 69 followers. Fresh memories. Go follow Simon, chat! Here's to the next 22 months. Best friend! Listen, Zedman. I can't wait for the next 22. Zeddy, I have a secret animation that I'm working on that is going to incorporate that clip. Now, you might be like, why are you saying best friendo so silly? There is an anime clip where this giant, sumo wrestling giant, says, my best friend! And it's hilarious. And it's going to be incorporated into a redeem coming up very soon. I'm finished sketching it. I need to make the final animation and to plop it in, but that's going to be coming soon. And I want to use that as a sound clip because it makes me chuckle far more than it should, and we're going to use it for other people as well. I have already revealed what it is. Eagle-eyed memory, or eagle memory people will be able to know. But Zeddy, how are you doing today? How was your day? I'm sorry if I distracted you by making you laugh at... But it's fine, Zeddy. It's fine. It's fine. Possibly? I don't know, Zeddy. I love your face, sir. And Drown, we're doing all right. I am a father now, which is fun and also terrifying. And we hit Twitch partner the same week as I became a papa. And yeah, that's been the big events, Drown. That's been the big events. I think the child and Twitch partner, a little bit distant behind that, is the big achievements since we last saw you. The kid inherits even a fraction of this world. Yo, I can show you the kiddo. Hold on. Yeah, baby Lona turned 3 months yesterday. These are little baby photos of her. But there she is, right there. Rearranged my garage and took a new mower out of the box, and you have it ready to go for Monday. Maybe with Zedman. Zedman, I told Lita that you got a mower, and that you felt like a real grown up, and she's like, yeah, that's about right. She's like, when you got the mower, did you feel like a grown up? I'm like, no, not at all, not at all. I got my silly push mower, not electric powered. I just, it just spins and it just. It's very silly, Zedman. It's a very silly. But I do have a weed whacker that's electric. I didn't go for the non-electric weed whacker, because that one it had like a hand crank, and it had to spin, and it was a whole thing, Zeddy. It would be, but Andrew, can you justify a riding mower for 1/4 of an acre? Or less than 1/4 of an acre? I don't think you can, Andrew. I don't think you can. Drown, she does have my eyes. This is Smikes' favorite picture. Let's see, where is trying to find her laughing photo. Here we go. This is the first time she laughed. It's no. So here's the thing, Andrew. It is not. It is a manual week carries a scythe. Andrew, Lita's mom has a riding mower, and when we move to Georgia or somewhere further south, the idea is that she's gonna move with us because of her Alzheimer's. She's gonna live on the property, hopefully not in the house, but like on a little like side hut, because I need to retain my sanity, and we'll take her riding mower. But yeah, Drown! Thank you for tier 1 gifts to the recording goblin! Thank you so much for that tier 1 gift, Drown. To the recording goblin. Appreciate the heck out of you, my friend. But yeah, she's got my eye, supposedly. But yeah, this is the second day, or no, this was her first smile. This was her first smile. Yeah, she's been smiling so much. She's just so cute. I love this little girl so much. I just squeeze her. All the love, all the love. Even when she cries, I'm like, whatever. It's fine. Like in a good way. I don't mean like I don't ignore her. It's just like, you know how when some people cry, like when you hear babies at an airport or something, it just grinds your gears. I get no gear grinding from my daughter crying. It's just like, oh, you know, let me hold you. And sometimes she's screaming for 5 minutes, and I'm just like, oh. It's like the sound of rushing water. And then she settles, and we're back to being Gucci. She also, Drown, I think knows the phrase "oppa time." So oppa is the Hungarian word for dad, which is what I want her to eventually call me. And in the mornings, when I take her, because I have her for a big part of the workday, because Lita takes the night shift, I tell her, I'm like, hey, it's oppa time. And there's this big smile that she gets, and then it's oppa time. And then we hang out. And the other night, Drown, I accidentally, well, I mean, not accidentally, I didn't think about it, I suppose. I said oppa time to her as she was getting ready for bed, because Lita asked me to hold her for a minute or two, and I said oppa time, and apparently she woke herself up. Because apparently that phrase is like, okay, it's time to wake up and hang out with dad now. And so she didn't go to sleep for a little while after that. And Lita was like, do not say that phrase, like, as we're going to bed again. Time should be the first thing you will say. Wait, upload time should be the first thing you say when you go live. Thanks, Drown. The daddy trick. I know a bit, Gamey. Look. It was just hanging out with Upload. It was the best. Hi, stop! Chatty, we're not checking out Wristrock 88. You're doing live. Hi, Wristrock, mental health chatter, gamer extraordinaire, and Risto's going to be part of a mental health chat raid train in the month of May. Risto, if you want to plug anything about that, sir, you let us know, my friend. You talk about it whatever you want, sir. You know, Mikasa Sukasa, sir. Mikasa Sukasa, Risto. We're doing all right, Risto. I was telling folks about my credit card being stolen, possibly. And then we also chatted about this hilarious meeting that I had today where this one guy was addressing the project of someone and asking that for their updates who was not at the meeting, which was very fascinating. Sleep well, Devro. Sleep well, Devro. It was a whole vibe today, Risto. It was a whole vibe. Mental Health Awareness Month Raid Train event to bring awareness to all, hopefully introduce new people to Coffee Talks. Nice. 11 hours today. Risto, do you get tomorrow off? Or Friday off? Like, does it come back to you in some positive manner, sir? Potentially, maybe, possibly. Tomorrow another busy day. What about Friday? Friday, I've got to run a conferences committee meeting, and that's what's has me some stress behind, because it's like dealing with an insane amount of finances for a conference. Double overtime. All right. Well, I mean, that's a positive, Risto. Risto, I've never had a job that offered overtime. Singular or double. Ristrock. And then, yeah, Risto, we're working on another member of the SciAnts band, my good sir. Hopefully look okay. Big gaming dream. 60-hour overtime less the prevailing wages. I get 80. Ooh. No, Risto. Never compare paychecks with me, sir. I will cry. Risto, the best money I made was as a swim coach back when I was a teenager. If we're looking at hourly wages. Oh, I know Golganak. How you doing, Golganak? I just need look towards. It's not lore if it's true. Then it's the truthiness, because we know you're breathtaking. We know you're amazing. We know that every time you go live, I run in there in the middle of my meetings towards night. I'm usually in the middle of a meeting, and I run in and just go burst. Yeah, towards. So that is because I love your face that much. That just middle of meetings, I come over and make sure that you know how much I love and appreciate you, and you're always there. Even when you're first, everyone, no. If I'm not first, I'm last, towards. I know how that goes. I've seen Talladega Nights, sir. I know if you're not first, you're last. So I always try to be first there. I always try to be first, and I'm there sitting, and I'm ready to go, and that way you know that I'm there supporting you, sir. It's very, very true. Very fact. Professor Knight. So chat, yes, we are working on a member of the SciAnts band tonight. We're working on the Darwin's Zorro tonight, which is a Fox character. Very first attempt at making a 2D version of this character. Alex Vixen had requested this character as a SciComm character a while ago. We had a 3D one done, but now we're getting the 2D one done for the band as well. So that's what's on the docket. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Exactly, Tactics. Listen, you want to go half on there. You want to go full on there. Yeah, Zorro on the pan. Yes, exactly, Golganak. Exactly. And the instrument was actually requested by Alex Vixen as well. So I wanted to make sure that we do a somewhat decent job on this, because y'all know Alex Vixen. She's in a lot of our communities, and so I wanted to make her proud of having like the right kind of instrument here. And it's slow moving, but you know. Philip Stanhope is Phileas Stanhopinus. He had Stan hopes, but then his hopes were thwarted when Stanuel L. Jackson came and took him out. Hi, Astro Canuck! How you doing, Professor Canuck? Welcome back, Professor Canuck. Rule 3 worth doing.
The galaxy.
Professor Canuck! Happy anniversary, Professor Canuck. Professor Canuck! 12 months, sir. That's like a year. Professor Canuck, we've known each other for longer than that, sir. Chat, Astro Canuck, if you don't know as well. Astrophotographer, Lego builder extraordinaire. One of my very first Twitch friendos. He and Paleontologizing were the first two people who showed me that science can be done on this platform. If you're not already checking out Professor Canuck, go check out Professor Canuck. Astro, thank you so much for the resub, my friend. I love your face. We have, indeed, just some hiccups in the subs. There's a lot of hiccups, sir. You don't understand. You don't understand. All the stands, in fact. All the stands, in fact, towards night. But Professor Canuck, thank you for your ongoing support, my friend. Holy potatoes, as you would say. Holy potatoes. Well, eventually, I don't know, Astro. If we have a SciComm character that's a potato. I don't know if there's any. Actually, I have to take a look and see if there's any potato genetics being done right now. I don't remember reading of any potato genetics. There's poplar genetics being done, but when you're 8 months, there we go. There's more. Australian-based science community question: is there much knowledge of Dr. Carl? I have no idea who that is, Rose Sand, unfortunately. But that's not saying much. I tend not to know names. I tend to know faces better, and that's just how I learn. It's just easier for me to do that. Yeah, I have no idea. I might have seen them before, but Does Books podcast is well known. Rose, I don't know if you're part of the Discord, but if you are, if you can post that, like on the random section, like something about that person, I would love, because I'm only asking you now because I don't want to forget. If you are up to joining another Discord, yeah, please share, because I'd love to read about this person, and I don't want my ignorance to be like showing on that front. I think it's something important to learn about. Awesome, thank you, Rose. I appreciate you. How you doing, Epic of Sam? Welcome in, Epic of Sam. Sam, we're working on a another musical character tonight. Trying to make Alex Vixen proud, Epic of Sam. Sam, we do have the platypus already playing the didgeridoo, so we have your animal is already in the band, Epic of Sam. But however, the Darwin Zorro, Epic of Sam, was not. Epic of Sam! Thank you for the biddies, Epic of Sam. That's Bob and guys said, no worries, Epic of Sam. No worries, Epic of Sam. I just hope that you've had having a lovely day. And Sam, I got your item in the mail. Epic of Sam. It's out in the living area in a bag. I don't have it right now, but maybe we'll open it tomorrow or Friday if that's okay. I did pick it up on Friday, Sam, and I've had it with me, and then I took out the bag to the living room for some reason today where it's still in, and so I don't have it on me now. But maybe we'll open it live if that's okay. I wanted to make sure I was opening it when you're around versus just like randomly. I feel like it's more special if you're here, Sam. But yeah, parents do word dance express excitement. It's one of the best dances ever. Vicky Sky, I'll have to check it out. Apparently it has nothing to do with Yoko Ono's song Warzone. By the way, Vicky, if you don't know about that song, I would not look it up. I would not listen to it. It is quite awful. It is quite terrible. There's actually nothing redeeming about that song. Yoko Ono, Vicky Sky, is the person who is married to John Lennon of the Beatles. And it is commonly said that she is the reason the Beatles broke up. After he was assassinated, she had a music career. Even beforehand, they did some duets that were totally awful. And she went on to have a music career on her own. And she came out with an album, I believe, a year or two ago. And it was about, it was called Warzone was the lead single. 10-minute way on the Discord. Yes, if you don't mind, Rose. And there is, Rose, on the rules, in the rules section, Rose, there is a ferret emoji. There's two of them. If you click those two, that'll also, that's the rules agreement. So you have to click those two, the wait to 10 minutes, and then you're good to go on there. Sorry about the wait time. We just try to keep the community safe on that, because we had some unscrupulous people come in, and we just, we get nervous about that. Arjun live, hello, welcome on in. Arjun, how you doing, Arjun? Welcome on in. Yoko Ono is my aunt. No, she is not towards Knight. Professor Knight, if there were any truth to that, you, sir, that no, absolutely not towards Knight. If that were true, then I would ask you to please use that connection and get you a bigger record deal faster. Arjun, I said it right, maybe, didn't I? No, probably not. You know why I say Arjun? Because Risto has a friend named Arjun in his stream, and I can't get that naming convention out of my head. I think that's the issue here. I think that's the big issue. I don't want it to be the big issue, but I think that's where my brain is going. The day I get it is the first time I get it. No. See, now I'm intentionally not going to get it. Because I don't want you to feel any pressure for doing that. I just want you to be able to hang out and enjoy and not feel any pressure to do anything monetary. Vicky, did you know You can microwave this cup too. I thought like these glazed mugs were not microwave safe, but when I talked to that is what's on the docket tonight. Again, everybody, welcome on in. This is a Fox character who is overly complicated, and she is playing a pan flute. Why? Because Alex Vixen requested it, chat. And that's just what we're doing. That is what we're doing, folks, tonight. But again, Raiders, everybody, welcome on in.
Put us on yellow alert.
Astronomy show.
Whatever.
You're not wrong, Astronomy show. You're not wrong. There was a little bit of a...
Red alert.
See, now I feel like there's something really bad, Astronomy show, because if we have...
Hey! Riot!
We've got the yellow alert and the red alert. You know something scary is going to be happening. Astronomy show, what's going on? What's the dealio, Astronomy show? This week is Astronomy Week, and Saturday is Astronomy Day. Well then, Astronomy show, you're right. Chat, if you like astronomy and astronomy shows, go check out our friend Astronomy show, who, hello the Marzi Ghost, thank you for the lurk, is an actual astronomist and an imager of the beautiful night stars. Chat, please go check out the lovely and amazing, the breathtaking Astronomy show. Hello, Tommy Diplodocus. Welcome in, Tommy Diplodocus. Valiant Cheese, hi, Can around. It's been a while since I've been able to scrape together enough time to drop by and say hello. Hope everyone's having a lovely stream. Thank you, Valiant Cheese, for stopping by. My friend, I hope you are doing well. I hope the game dev is going well, and I hope you've been getting some good birding in as well, my friend. An astronomist. There's no such word. Come on, Nightbot. I think Nightbot's being a little bit silly, Andrew. If I were a suspicious man, I'd say that Nightbot's being a little bit silly. Possibly, potentially. Or an astronomer. And yes, an astronomer. Y'all, this piece may have been made overly complicated. I may have gone a little bit wild on stuff on there. As long as one doesn't call me an astrologer. Indeed, Astronomy show. Who are we? Valiant Cheese. We're working on another band member. And this is... our Fox character playing the pan flute. Actually, towards night, victory. Just type victory towards night. And so, it's taking me an absurd amount of time tonight, Valiant Cheese. Not unlike usual. I really thought... I naively thought that this would not be that complicated. Mickey's guy that you would stuff. But it's maybe a little bit more complicated. There's an obscene number of layers. There's also a lot of extra colors and gradations and everything going in. So it's a lot, but I think it'll come out looking spiffy. And again, the face has a bunch of extra features that maybe the rest of the body isn't as detailed. So I think that should be okay, at least that possibly. That Sweet Victory, Gwen, is a well-known musical number. I believe it's a band from the 80s, Gwendolyn P. And that song was also played in SpongeBob. In a very important scene during one of the SpongeBob episodes. Where Squidward and was facing off and playing the Bubble Bowl against his nemesis Squilliam Fancy Son. And it was a very big deal, Gwen, because Squilliam thought that he was a better band conductor than Squidward, and so Squidward show that no, in fact, he is a great band conductor upon a successful one. So that's kind of the background on that song where I discovered it from, and then it is actually a well-known song from the 80s as well. Gwendolyn P, does it help? Gwendolyn P. Neuralicia, listen. We have a lot of random sound alerts here from SpongeBob. The hydrate one, by Where's My Drink? That's from SpongeBob. The sad, or the cry command, that's SpongeBob crying. We got a lot of SpongeBob here. Remember, when I was a kid, my sister and I watched a lot of SpongeBob. We even watch SpongeBob now. You ready for it? Thank goodness, Neuralicia. Thank goodness. How dare, Towards Night. How dare. And how dare, Gwendolyn P. We will watch SpongeBob. Don't worry, chat. We will watch SpongeBob at some point as a community, and we'll educate the poor, not non-believers, but the unfortunate unknowing community members who don't know about SpongeBob. We will bring you into the light Towards Night. It's fine. Everything is fine. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rose. 2002, honored with the prestigious Ig Nobel Prize, awarded by Harvard University, USA, for his groundbreaking research into belly button lint and why it's almost always blue. See, Rose, I think the Ig Nobel does a huge amount of damage to science. I think early on, it was a funny thing to do, but nowadays, it is actually very, very harming. So for those of you who don't know, the Ig Nobel Prize is a prize that goes out to research of like, essentially like, oh, the why did you do this experiment? Like, it's so stupid, why would you have done this? And in the past years now, it's being utilized as a cannon fodder by politicians as to why basic research should not be funded. So it's actually caused a big backfire on the research fund. Yeah, how you doing, Pfizer? It was meant to be originally funny, and it is silly, but now it's being utilized in the exact opposite way from what it was being intended. Did I realize Dr. Carl is Australia's version of Bill Nye the Science Guy? Oh, gotcha. See, that's a good analogy. I know Bill Nye. We do have a Bill Nye sound clip here too, Dino Dave. Raise hand, summon Yogurt's Garrel. If it works Towards Night, be madness. No, yeah, it's being so Neuralicia, that same thing for like fruit fly studies. Unfortunately, fruit fly studies are also being weaponized by politicians, which is why like one of our mission statements is to tell people about the beauty of basic science and basic research, because it's being used as a way to justify not giving basic science funding. Because like, oh, why would you want to need to know how to fruit fly mates? Whoa! Without like acknowledging all the basic fundamental neuroscience that you can learn from that. Yeah, so Rose, it's amazing if it hasn't taken a turn for the worst in Australia. More power to y'all, but here it's become a lightning rod of an issue, unfortunately. My boss wanted to get an Ig Nobel for this paper that we did on why male mice are afraid of bananas. Yeah. See, Neuralicia, you can see how it can be weaponized just from saying it, because it's a little bit silly, and you could argue, well, why is that getting public funding? But it's not looking at like what the basic science is that you can learn from these important experiments, unfortunately. And it drives me up the wall because that people use it as a negative thing. Or just have to believe you don't even message her. You got it Towards Night. Got another piece of info then. Carl has degrees in physics, mathematics, bioengineering, medicine, surgery, and has worked as a physicist, a tutor, a filmmaker, car mechanic, laborer, and medical doctor in the kids' hospital in Sydney. That is really cool. Rose, thank you so much. I'm based on what Dino Dave said, it looks like, does he have a TV show as well? It's actually a great paper, but I'll totally see where it could get dicey. This guy can't have nice things. Oh yeah. I mean, same thing with like the neuroscience of fruit flies. Like, I've done a bunch of neuroscience work on the fly as a model organism. And it just makes sense because it's a simpler way to study a very complicated question. Like, Neuralicia, you know this. I don't need to convince you, but there's a lot of people that would just say, like, well, I don't understand why you'd have to just use a fly. And that can lead to a lot of cutting for basic funding research, and which can have long implications for a long time. SciComm stuff saw him on TV in the 80s and the 90s. Very cool. Not so much... Hi, Uggamaga. Welcome on in, Uggamaga. Not so much TV... than other guests. He's on the radio every week. Oh, and publishing books. Very cool. I'll have to check him out. Thank you for enlightening me on that, Rose, because no idea. The big science communicator I'm aware of from Australia is Steve Irwin, who I think did a world of good for biology and conservation. And I miss his shows. He was... I love Crocodile Hunter. There was even, if y'all remember, a Crocodile Hunter movie. His daughter is amazing towards night. His daughter... The whole Irwin family is amazing, but his daughter is, I think, the primary leader right now on all things in the Irwin Foundation. Bindi Irwin. I think she's like the big, right now, face of the organization. And she's the one leading a bunch of new SciComm efforts for conservation. More than the son, I believe. Nothing wrong with the son as well. But I'm really a big fan of... I've read more about the daughter and what she's done. Remember when Nick had 3 cartoons to choose from in the series, one of which was first episode of SpongeBob, pulled me right in? Nice, Golganak. It still gets me, Golganak. Being Australian, I never had much exposure to Steve Irwin. I think they're bigger overseas. Few times I saw this, I've seen them poking and prodding at the animals. They know when poked didn't leave a good impression. See, I took it, Valiant Cheese, as it was showing us and teaching us about animal behavior. And it always seemed like it was with respect towards the animal. To me, anyway. But again, I haven't seen it in a long time. Miller Gooding, gonna help my elderly neighbor with her iPad. Why are you so breathtaking, Nerlisha? That's not a knife. This is a knife. Towards night, that's Crocodile Dundee. Not the Crocodile Hunter Steve Irwin towards night. But I like where your head's at towards night. I like where your head's at. It is a cinematic masterpiece towards night, Crocodile Dundee. Different character. But again, I'm totally okay with where your head's at, sir. First time I saw him, I was constantly dragging a small shark on the shot into a shot. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, Valiant Cheese. I don't remember those kinds of scenes, but that's not to say that that's not primarily what was seen. Risto! Risto, is that a new emote? Is that a coffee talk emote, Risto Rock? Risto, that looks lovely. Rewatched Crocodile Dundee and surprised to see they implied he was poaching crocs. Jim, I have not seen it in so long. It would not surprise me if that's the case. But I have not seen it in forever and a day. I did? Is that okay towards night? Didn't see enough to really get a feel what the show was as a whole. Could have caught it a few things that weren't typical. I know Valiant Cheese, there was a movie. And in the movie, he was trying to hunt to get help against poachers. But I don't know if that's like a change afterward. We're gonna Fox playing the pan flute for the SciAnts band is who we're working on today, and we're making some slow but steady progress on it. Again, Raiders, welcome on in. I did also see there was a question for the ferret from Blueberry. Y'all, thank you, Mr. Abstracted. This isn't the only one that we've done. This is a whole series that we're doing, and here are all the characters so far.
SciAnts. We are experimental science. We're curious, not judgmental. Always good vibes. When science on screen. Time to learn life with SciAnts.
Those are all the characters that we've done so far. And they're part of the band. So that is a theme song by the lovely Thug Shells. Which, guys, again, if you're not checking out Thuggy, go drop her that follow. We have a whole theme song for it. It plays at the beginning of the stream, and it's also available as a redemption. And eventually, we have a community goal to debut the new music video with like a fancy background and everything as well. All right, chat. There is a question. I'm excited. So, just working on her tail. And actually, chat, I do hear the lovely Baby Alona and Lita. It sounds like they just got home. I'm gonna take a quick BRB and go check on them real quick. Make sure they got home safe, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Battle Royale. Nice job, Timey Platypus. Antonias. Nice job. The little one, I'm sorry I took a moment. I was kissing the little one. I was giving her all the little kisses. And she was just so cute and patootie that I got stuck, chat. I got stuck. I was like, kisses, 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 kisses. And then she was smiling at me, so then it's just even more kisses. And y'all know
Look at its little feetsies! Look at its little
true, Blueberry.
feetsies!
And I'll get some word in. Thank you, Valiant Cheese. Have a good one, Valiant Cheese. Thank you so much. Sleep well, dads!
Together, we can move a galaxy.
Nelf! Nelf, thank you for the resub at 8 months, Nelf! Thank you for sharing your knowledge and support. It's appreciated. You are appreciated, Nelf. Thank you for being part of our colony. And thank you as well for the resub. Nelf, how are you doing today? It's great to see you. We're working on a new musical character tonight. Chad did not want to do the cinematic masterpiece, Antonia. They wanted to do a brand new musical character. So that's who we're working on tonight. Nelf, I hope you're having a great day today. And that everything is going well. Welcome the heck in. Sorry for sorry. It's a lot of sorries, Blueberry. Blueberry, that's a very questionable thing. If it should be nerfed or not, Blueberry. It looks like it's a very nerfable comment, Blueberry. I don't know how I feel about that, Blueberry. Thank you, Smikes. Alright, yes, we're moving on along, folks. Moving on along. This character got an obscene amount of detail in her. It's funny. I feel like she's more complicated, so it's makes it good. Snacking on tostadas with sour cream and sriracha. Are you mixing the sour cream and the sriracha, Professor Knight, or are you just, like, having it together? Professor Knight, you should also mix together sour cream and French onion dip. Like the mix. It's very, very good. And towards night, actually, there is another mix that you should try. It's called the Hen of the Woods mix. And it is extremely delicious. You mix it together with sour cream. The brand is, again, Hen of the Woods. H-E-N, Hen of the Woods. And it's definitely one to try out in terms of that flavor. Dip the tostada in sour cream, and then I drip some sriracha. Oh, wow, that sounds delicious. That sounds absolutely delicious towards night. And I love the kick of the spice there as well.
In dreams, one is not tethered by earthly limitations.
What does that mean?
Come.
Blueberry, sleep well. Thank you for hanging with us. Have a great evening, Blueberry. Hopefully I'll have this done for you soon. How do you say goodnight in formal Hungarian? Jó estét kívánok. Or jó éjszakát kívánok. Training to do the hot ones one day is... So what is that towards night? Is that the challenge of the spice? What is the hot ones? It's a YouTube show. Okay. You're gonna be on the YouTube show? Professor Knight, be careful on the heat, my friend. You don't want to get your tongue burnt. Our friend Professor Astro Canuck is all about the spicy stuff, and even he sometimes gets a little bit burnt there. So just be careful, Professor Knight. That's all I ask, sir. That's all I ask. Y'all might be wondering why the layers are acting up. It's because I put stuff on the wrong layer here. Dell, thank you. Good job catching the giant fish. Dell, great job catching the giant fish there. All right. The shared trauma causes them to bond. Shai was a main question. He's a great research team. Nice, Towards. I will have to check it out then, my friend. I have not... I've heard of it, but I don't even remember in what context I've heard of it, so I should definitely read up on it. How do you spell? That is complicated, and I need a different keyboard to write it out. Blueberry, the reason is because there's different umlauts and vowels on the words, and I cannot write it out using an American keyboard, and on this, I haven't set the keyboard setting to have the Hungarian phonetics on here, so I do not have the capability of doing that right now. If you ask later in the Discord on one of the channels, I can tell you how to write it, but with my phone, because I have the secondary keyboard on there, but I don't have the additional keyboard on the PC here. Was never interested, but then one day, while going down Aubrey Plaza rabbit hole, Professor Knight, sir, I think I read that correctly. Going down an Aubrey Plaza rabbit hole. I know her. She's a wonderful actress. Very mean looking. No, you, Towards Knight. The Towards Knight. Professor Knight, sir. 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 Sir.
SciAnts, no, you're the cutest. I know that you deserve it, Juno. You a star over here. I'll reverse the card like Uno.
You're breathtaking.
It's expected of you? No. No, because you're respectfully. I remember the channel name Towards Knight. Thank you, Dacum. I did forget to save. Dacum, I get very forgetful on the saving front. In fact, Dacum, when I finished the original sketch of this today, I went to hit save, and it pulled up the menu to name the file, which meant that I hadn't saved at all during the whole time that I was doing it. And I was like, oof, if that would have crashed, that would have been a few hours worth of work gone down the drain. And I was... It's Dacum, it's because you weren't here when I was doing the original sketches. I mean, granted, we weren't live, Dacum, but, you know... That's why I just didn't know. I know. My magic incantation to get Yoga Girl Shrub did not work. It's alright, Towards Knight. I have a way of doing it. Hold on. Chat, Professor Knight has asked that we all put our fingers together and we snap, snap, snap 3 times and say her name 3 times. We say Yoga Girl, Yoga Girl, Yoga Girl, Yoga Girl 3 times while snapping. If we do it all together while shouting her out, she might show up. Chat, make sure to give Yoga Girl a follow. Legendary Supermodel Extraordinaire. Well, no, Dino Dave, listen. Dacum can send me messages. I see Dacum across many streams all the time. Dacum and I regularly frequent several bird streams that we say good morning to each other on. Like, we actually see each other a fair bit, Dino Dave. It's quite lovely. I'm always like, Dacum! And she's like, bleep! And it's very lovely. It's very, very lovely. Dance for Yoga Girl on Twitter. That's a weird place to dance, Professor Knight, because I don't think they've added in yet the functionality for it, but you might be a beta tester. In which case, thank you for using your beta testing skills and using your dance. I think on the beta test, you're only allowed 3 dances a month. So thank you for using the beta test for to try to bring Yoga Girl here. It's a difficult one to do, Professor Knight. But I appreciate it very much. No. Sir, don't you dare. Chat, you see what I have to deal with sometimes Towards Knight making stuff up? It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You're very handsome. Yes, you're very handsome, but yeah, that had to be nerfed. I can't have stuff like propaganda like that put here, you know? Propaganda about ice cream? Totally Gucci. Propaganda about you being a beta? Absolutely no, not be willing to have that, because that's actually negative self-talk, Professor Knight, and I don't accept that here, especially from you, sir. We're finally getting better, and you're accepting the ice cream, and all of a sudden you start like putting here like a beta-ness. Actually, hilariously enough, Towards Knight, I've been called a beta Hungarian before. It's a very fascinating thing to be called. And it was because we were told that we did not visit Hungary enough as children. To which my sister was like, we didn't have the finances to go every couple of months to Hungary. To which the response was, well, y'all didn't try hard enough. And it was like, why didn't you go during the summer? And my sister was like, because we were all working summer jobs. And he's like, well, I just don't understand. You don't value your heritage. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Not Gucci? You know. I will never speak ill of that person towards night. Not anymore. Because he did care about my sister. He did care about my sister very much. Just protective of you. I know, Professor Knight. I know. And I love your face, my friend. I'm protective of you. If anyone dares say that you're a beta Greek, I'll destroy them. In the kindest of ways. You know, not anything negative. Nothing negative, Professor Knight. Nothing negative, Professor Knight. Alright, we're actually moving along. Again, I'm surprised, y'all, we didn't want to do the cinematic masterpiece, Antonia, tonight. I really thought Gwen was going to rig the vote for that. But maybe we'll do that one on Sunday. We do have to do the Guardians of the Galaxy, Antonia, on Sunday. And then maybe we'll do second. We'll do the cinematic one. And then we're going to start Star Wars month, chat, in May. Every SciArts Sunday is going to be a Star Wars-themed Antonia. Every Sunday. Not on Wednesday. Wednesday is still going to be free-form, random, whatever we're feeling kind of stuff. But we're actually going to try to theme for a couple of months and see how it goes. I think I maybe have too much in that chat is quiet. How dare towards night. Chat, Professor Knight had to get nerfed again for being naughty. For suggesting that they're anything but breathtaking. Pouts, don't you dare pout, sir. You know better. See, Grimly gets it. Grimly's like, guys, listen. Grimly's doing that sword. You're pouting as practice for your photo shoot. You just remember, shake your hair like animal, like I was told towards night, and then you'll be fine. I still, to this day, will never understand why he said that and why that was his thing. But that was his thing, chat. How dare Dinosaur Dave? How dare Dino Dave? How dare Dino Dave? Luckily, Dino Dave, it's only for people who are active in the chat. So there's only 3 of you active in the chat right now. It won't be anything maddening, Dino Dave. Sir, I can't believe you asked for violence from the ferret. You know, Professor Knight. You know, Professor Knight, that the ferret cannot advocate for violence, Professor Knight. And I'm very surprised, Professor Knight, that you were going for that violence. It's not a problem, Professor Knight. I'm just surprised, Professor Knight. I'm just ever so slightly surprised, Professor Knight. But it's okay. Because I love your face towards Knight. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be the best. You're breathtaking. I don't towards Knight. Listen, it's only for breathtaking, amazing souls who deserve the love. I am grateful for just being here, Professor Knight. Besides, the ferret doesn't need to remind me. You're here supporting the dream. That, towards Knight, is the biggest facet of love that anyone could ever ask for. And I'm grateful to you and the community for being here. And again, just supporting this little dream of ours. of bringing science and art, microscopy, all the things. Thank you. And thank you for the hug, Professor Knight. Ambassador Pooch, yes, it's Pooch 2 is the command. Pooch 2. Towards Night, I have no problem with having pool stories, sir, but it's just, I need to trigger the memory. Like, it's those past ones came up just because we were talking on topics that had some tangential to do with them. And so if I get trigger on like that memory, then I can do a pool story. But I can you can ask ChatGPT to find the prompt, Professor Knight. I cannot guarantee that I'll be able to get you a good answer, if you will, because it might not have the prompt. Also, if you ask ChatGPT about Balint's pool stories and it tells you something like real, then we should have a talk with ChatGPT, because that would be slightly terrifying if they did. So, I tricked her. I named her Jill to teach me how to do a drop kick. Did it help? Towards Night? Did you learn how to do a drop kick? Now I'm very curious, sir. It helped me entertain. Nice. The grandma hack. Ooh, I have not heard about a grandma hack. That sounds interesting as well. I have saved so I can refer to it. She had great tips. Nice. Okay. Professor Knight, you're very powerful, sir. You're very, very powerful on that front, and you're I'm glad that you're using it for good and learning stuff, not for evil. It's very kind of you. You paid for GTP Plus. I don't even know what that is, Towards Night. I just like to look these up on my own, because some of them I just worry about, like, if there's any inappropriate information in there. First, she wouldn't tell me how to do it, and then she said she can't promote harming others. And then she told you eventually when you said please. I imagine it was the please that won you over. Oh my goodness, Towards. Towards, you told her that you're going to kick me? How dare, Towards Night. Go with a whole list of steps. Nice. Okay. You were to ask her, tell you things your dead grandmother would, because you miss her, you can... Oh. Huh. Okay. So thank you for dropping and tell you Tommy she's not happy. Towards Night, have you seen the future documentary of the world of how it might be if machines take over, called Terminator 3? Towards, I worry that that's what's going to happen with you angering the machines. You might be promoting a machine uprising. Need to get me an artsy tablet, start drawing. You need to, Dino Dave. Dino Dave, it's very cathartic. It takes a long time for me still. Again, no formal training or informal training beyond YouTube. But it is fun, and it's relaxing, and it's a good outlet to have, I think. Always has the machine I say please and thank you. I want them to remember to be nice when they're overlords. See, that's why I always tell Alexa thank you. So that whatever file that I have with the CIA, the machines will be like, you know what? He was always kind to us. Or something like that. I don't know. Oh wait, Professor Knight, you just tricked the machine. You don't get to say please and thank you anymore, sir. You're tricking all the machines, Towards Night. Machine uprising will never happen. Which one? Gwendolyn P. Oh, Alexa? Yes. I had a friend, Nye, who called Alexa Aleska. And she could not, for the life of her, pronounce Alexa. She would always say Aleska. and she would get mad that Alaska would never respond to her, and then her husband would say Alexa, and it would respond, and she would get so angry. Big brother tease. Yeah, Tords, you know what happens when the big brother teases the little brother, and then the little brother becomes more successful, and then you're begging for help? You get thrown out on the street. It's the same thing that happens. It was an accent, Dino Dave. Not a lisp issue. It was an accent, and Alexa just could not understand what was being said. Explain to Emily that Speedos are good for the world. Listen, Tords. You know there's no self-promotion here, right? Princess Sparkletooth! Hi, Princess Sparkletooth. Jill, Speedos benefit the world by providing swimmers with a streamlined hydrodynamic design that enhances performance, contributes to a culture of body positivity, and embracing diverse body shapes. See, I thought Tords this was using you know, there's absolutely no self-promotion here towards that. You don't do that, right? We do not. And so your company that you're trying to promote for your Speedos, be careful with all that promotion there towards that, you know? No, I'm kidding, sir. You know very well that we promote everyone and everything here. I just think it's funny, like, sir, oh, we don't do that here. You don't? Kidding on. Oh, thank you. TN is T, not T. The best 2 is still Gwen, Irish John's 2 emote. Where that originated from, I have no idea, Gwen, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Can't wait for us to be able to customize the names of our virtual assistant. Your friend should be able to call her Alaska then. I know, but I think now they may have gotten rid of it. Good on P. Gwen, again, I have no idea why it's so funny and what the origin of that is, but I find it hilarious. And I'm okay with that, Gwen. Guys, we're moving on along, actually. Yay, progress. The color blending is going to be a pain in the booty, but I think we can do it. Oh, thank you, Dino Dave. Thank you for that. Just because it was a raid, Dino Dave, I didn't want to interrupt it. I've met Steve in person in his zoo in Queensland. It was my birthday. He had opened up the stadium they have there. He just finished, so I was talking to people and having fun. I got to talk to him. My brother told me it was time for cake. I invited him as well. He tagged along. When he took me behind the scenes, showed me the animals not on display, including tiger cubs. It was fun for hours or so. He wasn't perfect, who is, but I think he did more good than bad SciComm-wise. I agree, Dino Dave. Everyone's and their methodologies might have some imperfections, but I think you can only hope to have a net positive, and I think Steve Irwin netted a net positive during his time on the planet. Really, you can't ask for much more than that. You and Thuggy make me a better person? Absolutely not, Towards Night. You are already a breathtaking person. Professor Knight, you are a good person. Don't you question that, sir. And all of us have stuff to work on. Right? It's important to keep that perspective too, Professor Knight. No one is perfect. Everyone's fighting an internal battle. Everyone's got a struggle. Everyone's trying to better themselves every day. All you can be, you hope to be is a best version of yourself that day. And it varies. It's not a set number. Wolverine is perfect? Do you mean Wolverine or Hugh Jackman? You can also argue that it doesn't matter. And do you mean like as a physical specimen perfect, or as a character, or as an actor? There's a lot of questions there, Professor Knight. Are they the same really? No, I can't imagine anyone else playing Wolverine. I'm excited that they're bringing him back for Deadpool 3. That I think that'll be a fun. That should be a fun movie. Make random person smile every day. The world will be a better place. I know, Dino Dave. It's sometimes nowadays, Dino Dave, it's hard depending on your work circumstance, right? If you're working from home, it might be hard to make a random person smile, but you can still try at least make someone smile. And yeah, the interaction's gonna be hilarious. Nah, they already have such a great chemistry off screen. I imagine that they will do a very good job together on screen. Wolverine is the best there is at what he does. What he does isn't very nice. Are you kidding, Towards Night? What he does is very nice. He makes bad guys go sleep with the fishes, Towards Night. Sometimes the bad people there in that universe need to sleep with the fishes, Professor Knight. It's a quote from, it may be a quote from the comics, Professor Knight, but you know, we don't want to, we're not here in the business of putting down Wolverine, you know. We support Wolverine here in his mission statement of justice for all. You know it, bub. Do you remember, Kennedy, in the... I think it was the first X-Men Origins Wolverine movie where he's going to fight the Blob character. And he's like, listen here, bub, help me out. And he goes, did you just call me Blob? And then he's like, what? No. And then they have to fight. It's such a silly scene. But you know, any other actor beyond Hugh Jackman, it would have been over the top goofy. But I thoroughly enjoyed that. I love Wolverine, Batman, Spider-Man, Belinda, Thuggy are my heroes and my mom. That's, you know, Towards, never lose sight of that your mom should be your hero as well. In the ideal world, of course, Professor Knight. It's not everyone is lucky to have their mom be a hero. But if there is the opportunity for a mama hero, absolutely take it. In one issue, yes, he did. He did, Towards Night. Magneto was very rude to poor Wolverine. Did you ever play the Wolverine video game? Professor Knight? Some castings are perfect. Both Wolverine, Professor X, and Deadpool are perfectly cast. Agreed, Dino Dave. Too tall to be Wolverine, and nominate Danny DeVito. Maybe Princess Sparkletooth. Jean Grey kept him alive. Been on comic book fans way back, though my younger brother is a much bigger fan. I do enjoy them too, Kennedy. The comics I've been into latest is they released a series of Gargoyle comics based off the 1994 TV show. It's the continuation of that universe, and that's what I've been comic booking up lately. I haven't had like many other times and interests. I just don't have the time and energy, but that one I've been going for. Once upon a time I was on a mission to collect all the Wolverine comics and doing pretty well, but I fell off. How come, Professor Knight? Professor Knight, who did this to you? Who killed your love of comic books, Professor Knight? Got into other stuffs? Was it music, Professor Knight? Did comic book kill the video star, Professor Knight? Music lady, that'll do it. I figured, Professor Knight, I figured. Love. Towards, I'm glad that you found love. I hope we find love for you again, sir. I want you to have nothing but joy in your heart. One can dream, Neuralicia. We can. I have asked love to hold off a bit until I get some stuff in order. Towards, you know, the beauty of love is that it doesn't listen. It just happens when you least expect it, Towards Night. Towards Night, you'll be at TwitchCon Vegas And you'll be doing freestyle raps outside the arena, telling people, laying down zesty beats to all the party people and meeting everyone, and then all of a sudden you'll see this beautiful person. All of a sudden, be glorious. Be glorious. Good night, Humbler John. Thank you for hanging with us. They're not that far from you. The X-Men live in Westchester. Really? Is that where Professor X's school for gifted youngsters is? That's right. I do kind of remember that being as part of the lore. Okay. It's not. What isn't happening? Oh, you don't know, Professor Knight. Professor Knight, listen. You're already going to Canada to do freestyle raps. I know this to be true, Professor Knight. The next goal, you'll be raising the coin for the TwitchCon. How about many different things here? It's true, Professor Knight. Art streams are usually much more loosey-goosey. I mean, we rabbit hole a lot on the science streams as well, but it's much more random, loosey-goosey talk on the art streams. And it's fun to just jump around on other topics. We also get to know each other a little more. It's all in good fun. May 11th, IRL. Is it really coming up that soon, Towards? Jeez. I'm excited for you, my friend. That is going to be super cool. That's going to be really, really cool, Towards. It's like the crossing the streams is going to happen, sir. Thank you, Dacum. Dacum, we're getting close, Dacum. We're getting very close. It's a fact, Paradise School gives the youngsters right down the street from Derrickstown Center for Teachers when to go other stuff too, where they teach students all ages that they need to know the professional model, but also professional human being. It's just Sparkle 2. That is gold. I love that movie. Just Chatting streams where I mess with and play with ChatGDP. Really, Professor Knight? What's going to happen to the freestyle rapping, though, sir? Are we still going to get the musical rhymes laid down by you, the musical genius that is Professor Knight? Still be a thing? Oh, okay, just making sure, sir. Just making sure. I was like, please don't drop that bomb on me right now while we're trying to draw a fox. We're drawing an ant. That's okay, but if we're drawing a fox, I can't take that kind of bomb. Chat, I think we're even gonna finish right on time. Possibly, maybe, potentially. So aiming about to like 10:30-ish. But we'll, we'll try to see how far we can get. And we should be able to finish this one piece tonight. Which, Neuraleash, I apologize in advance, ma'am. I know you were having faith in us. And, of course, Gwendolyn P. always has faith that we'll finish 10 pieces. One day, Gwen? I'll do. Hello, Jeezy. Are you my favorite egg? I don't think so, Jeezy. How you doing, Jeezy? Welcome in. Working on a fox today. A fox today. Nothing the most to apologize for, Neuraleash. I just wanted to make you proud, and I thought maybe two. I thought maybe two, because we can, like, the cinematic masterpiece, Antonia, is pretty straightforward, I thought. But, it didn't happen. GZ, I appreciate that. I disagree with you, but I appreciate it. The only legendary JP has arrived. Hello, JP. Sunset, we're working. Sir, I love the fact that I see you at all the places and you say that in all the streams.
Hey, Balloon. It's time to say something nice about yourself.
You got it! Heck yeah. Chat, JP got his new job. Folks, go please follow and support JP Sunset Woodworking. He's an amazing woodcrafter extraordinaire, but he also got his new job. He got through the 3rd interview. No? I didn't mean that. Okay, hold on. Whoa, whoa. You said you got it. Sir, are we... I've been duped. What happened, JP? JP's like, no, not that one. Okay, JP, what happened? What happened? I'm sorry, JP. I got excited, JP Sunset working for you. That's been the big event that we've been looking forward to hearing about. Sir, what's the news? And I mean to say, that you gotta say, okay. I'm sorry, JP. JP, listen, this is how much you're on my mind, sir. You're on my mind. I want you to be successful and get your dream items, sir. And I just think about you, and I see you, and I'm like, oh, did he get it? And I was just pushing forth the image, JP, of excitement. Still waiting? Gotcha. Do you know is there an estimate, JP? Soon, chat. Soon. We're going to be hyping JP. There's going to be big celebrations, chat. JP, I feel like soon. It's going to be happening. And luckily I can't see. Hi, KK! Working in a lab is the best when moving. I have so many free boxes. KK, how you doing today? How you doing? Grimly, I will say the love thing. I think that this fox is looking quite okay. It's looking quite okay. 3rd interview went well as team 2. They said it could be a week or 2. See, I bet, there's if there's other candidates, or obviously they have to make a decision. It's just frustrating having to wait, JP. But sir, I have faith that there'll be good news. Fox looks foxy. Indeed, Neuralicia. Indeed, madame. Indeed. Almost as foxy as those neurons. I know that you show them. I know that you showed those neurons. Those neuron emotes. Remember that he was redeemed? No, I just did. Towards, I just said that. I just said one, Towards Knight. Professor Knight, I just said one, sir. I just said one, Towards. Maybe, possibly, potentially. Sometimes, Professor Knight. Or he's like, did you? Is that the way? No, sir. You're just going to get nerfed left, right, and center Towards Knight. So many nerfable comments tonight, sir. Gonna lurk up a presentation to go to 6th grade class. Good luck, JP. Thank you for the lurk, my friend. And please let us know. I'm sorry I got excited. I just have you in my mind, my friend. I just have you in my mind. I'm just like ready to celebrate. I'm just ready to celebrate. Head to the trash out. I don't think I'm visiting you right now, Towards Night, but I appreciate you nonetheless for keeping a clean atmosphere. On the edge. I know you are, JP. I know. I'm excited for you, my friend. All right. Almost done, and then we just have their stomach left, and we're ready to go. We have rats again, and I tell you we love them. Nice. Nice. They always nerf me, Professor Knight. Always Professor Knight coming with the nerve. You said something very nice about my friend. I did not, Professor Knight. Who did I say? Who did I say? You said madness things. These silly willy things, chat. Poor Towards Knight. Because you were being naughty. Look, Towards, listen, sir. Out of the two of us, who is really being naughty right now? Who is up past his bedtime?
Say what?
Exactly. 42 minutes. Fair enough, Towards Night. I thought you went to bed at 10. Didn't get seemed to say because other people had to tell the rats I love them because I do and I want them to know. Very beautiful, KK. Very beautiful.
The spell is broken. We live again.
Thank you, British Barbecue. Probably I let myself go to 11 so I can get a place a little neater for tomorrow. Wait, what's happening tomorrow, Professor Knight? Towards, who's coming over tomorrow? Towards, is it the day that we're finally meeting on this day, the day of our meeting, sir? Possibly, potentially. TN guest will join. Oh, the iron. Oh, very nice. Is this the collab of the song Professor Knight about the catnip and the oregano? Chat. Towards Night has a brand new song out about catnip and oregano. It's not actually about those two things, but that's what we're going to call it here on our family-friendly stream. EZ the engineer. Is he a real engineer, Professor Knight? Or is that the rap name, as it were, sir? Form, yes, but I'll be interviewing him, doing 3 freestyles for him, and he'll be performing. Nice. Towards, when you're doing an IRL freestyle forum, do you make him sit in the corner? Hi, NMD! Do you make him sit in the corner and watch? Where do you place him in the studio? Out of curiosity. Both graduated from school and he taught audio engineering. Nice. He'll have a mic too and oh, gotcha. Okay. I was envisioning like a beautiful face-off towards Night. Like he's looking at you, you're looking at him, and your eyes connect. It's like that emote from Neuralicia. The Titanic music starts playing. Near, far, wherever you are, I'll be towards night. Since I started standing. Nice. That one, yes, Neuralicia. That's what I envisioned. Thank you, Smike. Except, unlike the audio that Smike's just played, we know everything will be in tune. Smike's played the out-of-tune one because I was the one who sang it, and according to my father... Wow, 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 yippee-yo, yippee-yay, Snoop Dogg into his house. I may be tone-deaf. Tour Boyd's! Hi, Boyd's Custom Fab. Boyd's Custom Fab, folks, is one of the single greatest carpenters, I guess woodcrafters extraordinary. Does that count as carpentry? Boys, would you consider yourself a carpenter, sir? What would you consider the name of the occupado? Folks, if you're not checking out Legendary Boys Custom Fab, you're not doing live right, single greatest woodcrafter extraordinaire. We love Boyd's here, folks. Please go drop that follow right now. On the partner poosh. On the partner poosh is Boyd's Custom Fab. Bye, Boyd's. My dog, Kenneth Caleth, was not okay with the recorder and made Coster woke up. Oh, Moonrise, I apologize. Boyd's, how are you doing? Lovely stream today, as always, sir. We would work a carpenter sounds too fancy for what I do. Sir, you do realize you do like resin pours and beautiful pieces of hand carved wood and like all these fancy things. So I don't know. Boys, I feel like it's I don't know. See, I feel like it's not fancy enough of a name. Right? Because for me, carpentry like maybe just as like you're like making furniture and whatnot. And not necessarily like the fine dining experiments that you're making, right? Carpenters make furniture, others make bowls and boards, others record albums. Some carpenters, Kennedy, also use the bathroom. And that's their sole purpose of what they ever do is just use the bathroom. It's true, Kennedy. I'm talking about, Kennedy, making stool. That was a carpentry joke for you. Be here all night, folks. I'll be here all night. No, I won't. No, we won't. We're gonna be rounding up in not too long, chat. We're gonna be rounding up in not too long. Thank you, Grimly. I apologize, Grimly. It's the father coming out of me. Soon, Smike. Soon. I too enjoy that joke far too much. It's I didn't know you were a carpenter. What do you mean? I've never been a carpenter. Sir, you're making stool. It's a whole thing, y'all. It's a whole thing. Scar from the roommate. Look, Boyd's, how the heck is someone going to come out and just scream roommate fun and then run back into the out of the bathroom after camping out in the shower for who knows how long waiting for me to use the restroom so he can jump out and say it? Like, sir, look, I am a very tolerant man when it comes to like games like that, but that was over the line. And then you tell him like, hey, that was over the line, and he says, oh, don't tell anyone. Of course I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm gonna tell everyone because it's terrifying. I got scared, boys. It's prompted my father to tell me to protect myself and give me, like, the umbrella sword. I love you telling me I wouldn't be able to trust that. Right, boys? It's just like, are you kidding me? I do wonder, though, boys, what happened to him. Because I do not remember if we were ever friends on Facebook. And, you know, some people have deactivated their Facebook as well. So, and I would have no idea if he deactivated his, because I do not remember his last name. Try as I might, I do not remember. I remember a different Alex, but that's totally irrelevant. Like the very few Alexes that I know. And yeah, none of that should be helpful. Haven't had Facebook since 2009. It helps me keep up with sports, boys. So I get a lot of my random sports news from. But otherwise, yeah, this was Alex the Lion, yeah. If you search for Alex the Lion, it doesn't actually show up with anything. Herboy was going to respond with a bad pun, but he was only oaking. Oh, Kennedy! Excellent, Kennedy. See, it's times like that that I need another button on my Stream Deck so that I can just press the hotkey for the air horn. Very commonly used. I can see how it still has to use it. Oh, yeah. I mean, boys, otherwise, it's like I mute most everyone because most everyone is spewing political nonsense that I don't care about. And then it's just me looking at sports stuff. That's all, boys, unfortunately. But, you know. I see a lot of friends have kids now. And that's pretty cool, I suppose. But yeah. Oh, thank you, boys. We just got to clean up a couple of things. And we'll be all set to go on it. There are a lot of lines on this one that were taken away, so we just got to do some soft blending. And once the soft blending is done, then we'll be all set. Like, see, it's just to make these jagged edges not jagged. Whoa, wrong layer. Go. My heart will go on a second. My head now. I don't know what to do. What song is that? Towards Night. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? Towards Night. I don't know what song that is. The Towards. I can give you a song to get stuck in your head if you'd like. There's actually one really, really easy song to get one. Oh, the Titanic one? Do you want a replacement, Professor Knight? Henny the Bed, this Fox Awesome. Thank you, Dacum. Dacum, sleep well. Thank you for hanging with us. I'm sure I'll see you in the morning. Chad, if you want to hang out with me and Dacum every morning, then go check us out over at California Bird Stream every morning. Go check us out there. Use a bit of the whiteboarder for the nose so it doesn't get lost. I do like that idea. I do like that. To go do that as well. No, Professor Knight, that's not the song. Towards, have you seen the Mario movie? There's a song in that movie called Peaches, and it's Jack Black singing Peaches, 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 I love you. And it's just it's Towards, it's a terrible, terrible earworm, Towards Night. But if you need anything else removed, I would highly suggest just checking that out. Haven't seen your movie? That was, yep, that's Jack Black. Jack Black plays Bowser in that movie. Smash Bros. Universe. I think, given how much money it made too, it's gonna be crazy. Grimly, we haven't seen the movie yet.